a long way back, and Stealth now has taken over, so Stealth rockets clear over Smart Rose, Valkyrie, and then came Cheap Charlie, and further back Whiskey Road. Burns Ability's not going to win here, and Aviana's out the back, but it's all Stealth down the home running from Smart Rose, and Stealth first, second Cheap Charlie from Smart Rose and Valkyrie, then came Whiskey Road, and behind those then to Aviana and Burns Ability in that bunch towards the end. 21.56, and Stealth has made short work of them there for Jason Thompson.
$2.160 Simone, $5.10 for Cheap Charlie, no third dividend for Smart Rose. We were having a chat last week, the quality of the greyhounds that were going around at the meeting last Monday at Shepparton, and even today I've seen some really good quality greyhounds going around.
Yeah, certainly 21.56 at times flying too.
RSN is cracking the code.
Brought to you by Same Race Multi on the Tab app. Combine multiple runners for bigger odds.
What's gambling really costing you?
To hear all of today's Australian racing, listen to RSN's Extra. That's on digital radio in Melbourne, on the RSN app, and streaming at rsn.net.au.
New on RSN evenings, the weeknight whip around. 5:30 Monday to Friday, it's the key form and tips for the night's racing for all Victorian venues and all codes. We check in with our form experts and callers in a compact, done and dusted 30 minutes. Start your night's racing with the weeknight whip around. 5:30 till 6, Monday to Friday evenings. More in your race night from RSN Racing and Sport.
RSN is cracking the code.
Brought to you by Same Race Multi on the Tab app. Combine multiple runners for bigger odds.
What's gambling really costing you?
Welcome back, everyone, to Cracking the Codes. Enjoyed the chats with Dean Yendel and Joanna Zavitsanos and Georgie Farrugia as well. We're closing out in just a few minutes, peoples. 4 minutes away, the first at Warrnambool. We're tracked there with a heavy 9. It is a heavy 9, but it looks like it might well be a bit of hard work there today.
Looks like a hard slog. That's going to be interesting watching the 3,500 metre race, which looks like a bit of a Jericho sort of build-up sort of race. Dean Yendel, just a reminder, his best was race 2, his first ride for the day. I might go for a swim. You got some bills to pay, Simone, I hear you say in the ad break.
Yes.
Is everyone getting tax bills this year instead of tax credits?
Just BAS. I think just your quarterly BAS is due and had to pay super and all that last week.
You're absolutely cast.
She's asking you if you can help.
No, it's just a general thing. We've all got bills to pay, and I was reading earlier when I came in about the work cover premiums increasing for Racing Victoria participants, and they're looking for assistance there and something to be done. I don't know. It just seems
come and rob a bank.
Day. I think, yeah. Probably.
It's worked in the past.
Oh, I don't think so. I wouldn't do that. Okay. I wouldn't.
All right, I'll take your advice, Dan.
Invent something.
I'm not that creative. I don't know. What could I invent?
Well, you're running out of options.
Yeah, I think so. I'll just pay the bill and be done with it.
A horsetail factory or something like that. Speaking of horsetails, there'll be a famous horsetail attached to a famous horse awarded the Victorian champion.
Let's Go Yo-Yo about to be loaded forward first. Followed forward by Bush, Lauren, Gold Star, Odette, the two favourites to load away. And the outside for Opawa Lily. As the last couple are tucked away. Green light is on, Lubba rolls. For the second to last time of the season. Set. Racing. Gold Star, Odette away. Homebush, Leanna trying to pierce around the outside. Brendan Baxter. Let's Go Yo-Yo, gap not presenting. Opawa Lily out wider. And behind them, Homebush, Lauren, Homebush, Leanna towards the corner. It's Brendan Baxter in front of Gold Star Odette, who charges but will miss. Opawa Lily. And behind them, Oliviero, Gorillas, Smile, Let's Go Yo-Yo, a little luckless. And Homebush, Leanna back with the tail enders. Brendan Baxter too good. Made an okay.
7 will be 6, the 8, and then a photo in for 4th, looking likely between the 1 and the 5, but 7, Brendan Baxter for Joel McInerney in the second to last at Addington today. Now we have Warrnambool race number 1 coming our way. It's the first of 8. The rail's out 4 metres and we are on a heavy 9 surface there today. A few scratchings coming out of this first race, so we are down to a field of only 5 runners. Runner number 7 on debut will start for the final day of the season. She will statistically start as a 3-year-old filly, this Zoo Star girl. Light of Rose on debut today. Of course, they will turn a year older tomorrow. Light of Rose, number 7, the first favourite at $2. Lyndon Meach, $3 in the Jockeys Challenge. Bo Mertens, who is on board this first favourite today, is a $4 chance in the Jocks Challenge. And any other jockey outside of those listed, you are getting $7 if you're looking to play today's Jockeys Challenge from Warrnambool. Just a quick note, if you are looking towards Wellington, now they are scheduled to be underway in 5 minutes, but they are just waiting on an ambulance there, so we'll keep you posted with that first race from Wellington as to when that will be happening. But the 7 in this 3-year-old race is having that first run. No official trials to note, but the money is on. 340 about Fortune Ready, Gay Waterhouse, Adrian Bott with Lyndon Meach teaming up. Number 6, the more than ready 3-year-old filly, after 425 days off the scene. So she actually debuted last year as a 2-year-old, and she will go around here with just the 1 start as a 3-year-old before she'll turn a year older tomorrow as well. Fortune Ready, big spaces between her runs. Adam Crettenden's on track calling. He's got the first favourite, 7, Light of Rose.
Next one along, the outside gate here for Light of Rose, who's the well-backed $1.95 favourite. So 8 races on the program here at Warrnambool today. Heavy 9 track, the rail in the 4-metre position. Race 1 is the road to Jericho 3-year-old maiden. And they look ready at the 1200. They're set and they're underway. Light of Rose began okay. Fortune Ready down on the fence, just jumped fairly and really has to be pushed along to try and be on speed. Light of Rose just naturally gallops faster than some of these others, and she's going to work her way to the lead. Might not be plan A, but that's where she's going to end up. Light of Rose about a length in front of She's Tenacious. Snow on Her in 3rd. Fortune Ready couldn't muster even with the blinkers on off gate 1 and is back running 4th inside of Red Fern as they start to make their way off the back. So with 700 to go, Light of Rose led by just over a length to Snow on Her, who sits outside of She's Tenacious. 2 lengths away to Fortune Ready. Last of the 5, Red Fern, as they come down to the home turn. But Light of Rose going along casually in the lead here at the 450. Led 2 or 3 to She's Tenacious and Snow on Her. Both are hard ridden. The leader's not yet. And then Fortune Ready. Last is Red Fern as they swing into the straight. Light of Rose, 250 out. 2.5 to She's Tenacious, who sticks on. Snow on Her's now 4 lengths further back. Light of Rose doing it well enough, though, with 100 left to go. She's Tenacious sticks to her guns. That's the only thing preventing a big winning margin here. Light of Rose with a couple of gears left up her sleeve, I suspect. Wins, leads all the way, does it pretty stylishly. Won by just over 3 lengths to She's Tenacious. About 8 lengths away, 3rd was Snow on Her. Fortune Ready ran 4th, and Red Fern was last of the 5. Well, the riding was on the wall not long after the start there. Light on Rose jumped away okay, and Bo Mertens wasn't really looking to lead. But she just got up into a cruising speed pretty quickly, where she just found herself in front and just dawdled along as she pleased. And Bo gave her a couple of slaps on the shoulder around the home turn, and you could see from a fair way out that she was getting A, through the ground better, and B, she was just rolling along at a better tempo than all of her rivals there. She's Tenacious has been the clear second best there, because there's a sizable margin back to Snow on Her, who runs 3rd but is probably 10 lengths plus off the winner. Fortune Ready runs 4th. So 7, 9, 10 and 6. 7, 9, 10 and 6. The winner, Light of Rose, number 7, is a 3-year-old.
Yes, so starting for the first time as a late 3-year-old, Light of Rose. She'll do the job on debut. Bo Mertens in the saddle and returns the winner in race number 1 at Warrnambool. Connections picked her up in 2021 in an online sale for just $8,500. Light of Rose. 7 beating 9, She's Tenacious. 10, Snow on Her. And then in for 4th it was 6, Fortune Ready. Now, Wellington, there is an indefinite delay. They are awaiting
Were the
an
margins?
ambulance.
The race time was 1:14.27.
First leg of the
Cricket
quaddy
seed
from
in the first
Bundaberg.
at
Race number
Warrnambool, number 7 Light of Rose at $1.90, at $1.40, number 9 She's Tenacious at $1.80, no third tote the 10 Snow on Her. Quadella 3.20, Exacta 4.70, Trifecta returns $12 and the first for $15.60. 7, 9, 10, 6 in the first ad. Warrnambool win for the favourite. Great to have Travis Doonan with us all afternoon, and that was a pretty comfortable win in the opener to the fave, Trav.
Yeah, good afternoon, Riley, and all the listeners out there. It was a very comfortable win in the end for Light of Rose, the daughter of Zeus Star, who's taken a while to get to the races. It's her first run as a 3-year-old filly, but she was way too good for opposition there in the end there, and Lindsay Smith looks like he's got his hands on quite a nice filly. Bo Merton's doing a bit of travelling for the Smith stable to make sure he keeps the rides on some of the better horses going into the spring. So good as well to see Bo's made a fair trip from his base in the sort of Mornington area up to Warrnambool today and gets the job done with Light of Rose. Fortune Ready was the horse they backed. Never looked comfortable at all in the conditions there. The Gay Waterhouse runner in the white colours. It was a bit disappointing. So maybe back to the drawing board with it or just a firmer track. But yeah, a good start to the day for favourite punters because she was well back Light of Rose, and I think Lindsay Smith's got a good hand in today. He's always pretty hard to beat on his home track.
Well, punters will be happy after the first. Does it look like a favourite's day at the Bull, Trav?
I think it's a relatively even day, to be honest, Riley. I think there's a little bit of value a bit later in the day, so I think for us it's not a bad program to perhaps have a little wager on. The horse I'm most keen on a bit later in the day is actually from the winning combination in the first, Bo Mertens and Lindsay Smith, Kango and Cash, who goes around in the 5th race, and he's currently $4. So I think the later we get into the program, the more we can take on a few of those favoured runners.
In the second at 1:30, Trav, the 8 Rosetown Princess has been back $4 into $2.60 at early thought race 2.
Yeah, she's probably the one to beat. Dean Yendall going on for Mick Price and Michael Kent Jr. First up this preparation and has had a couple of jump outs to get ready. I thought the other horse of interest here is the 12 Dubai Dancer, having its second start for Tom Dabney, a 2-year-old. Ran well on heavy ground. So those are the two horses we're sort of working around. But from a betting perspective, I like the 12 Dubai Dancer.
Okay, great to have you with us this afternoon looking at the Bull, Trav, and another Monday because we have Mick McGuan in the studio as well. Mick, good afternoon to you.
G'day, Riley. How are you?
Good. What a weekend of footy.
Oh, good luck of being a tipster.
Yeah, I was just having a look back. If you had 4 locks in the footy for a multi, it would have been the Pies to beat Carlton, Geelong to beat Freo, Lions to beat the Suns, and Port to beat Adelaide. They all lost.
Yeah, they all lost. Incredible.
Blimey.
Yeah, the top 3 teams lost. Collingwood obviously got beaten by a very impressive Carlton on Friday night. Collingwood looked flat. Carlton were terrific. Their method, the way they played, their connection, their pressure, their urgency to compete. They converted chances, whereas Collingwood didn't. They looked flat from the week before, 6-day break. Adelaide, they probably trumped that form line in the view that Port Adelaide looked flat as biscuits as well. Adelaide seized on that opportunity and won comprehensively. The shock for me was how insipid Brisbane were. They put that white flag up pretty early, I felt, against a really tough inside group of midfielders for Gold Coast, led by Touk Miller. These guys really got to work. Miller's selfless role on Lockie Neal was really important, but also to work off him and still accumulate the ball was great to see. And I suppose West Coast Eagles, who'd been a huge part of discussion about where the coach sits in the scheme of things, they found a way to beat the travelling Roos. And full credit to the Eagles to muster up the courage to extend their effort into a season that clearly would want to be eradicated from a lot of people's minds. But they found a way to get themselves in front in the early stage of the game and hold on very well. And the Sydney-Essendon game had it all, didn't it? It was a shootout early.
Yeah.
Those punters that took the overs, they were pretty comfortable by quarter time. And then for the Swans to get out to a pretty good margin, and you thought that was game over, Essendon found a way to rally and nearly got over the line to keep their season alive, but that's unfortunately not the case. And what more can you say about Toby Green? Absolutely outstanding the way he performed. Backs to the wall stuff. This GWS group of players with Adam Kingsley steering the ship, they're playing with great spirit. They're playing with great urgency. The ability for them, like Collingwood were last year, to come from behind and still win games of footy is a credit to their system, but also the players that are in that system. And obviously the communication between coach and player is on top of their game at the moment, but you need some individual brilliance, and Toby Green provided that. I suppose if you fast track into what All-Australian selection's all about, not only to get into the 22, does Toby Green become a lock for the All-Australian captaincy. He's got my vote, and I think a lot of people, others, would be in his corner. I think it's time we duly recognise the player that he is, not the person that he probably led to frustration of a lot of fans, and just sit back and absorb what a great player this young man is. And I think he's now proven as a great leader of men in a group that certainly finds a way, and he generally says, I'll carry us across the line, boys, with what I do.
Maxi Gawn, speaking of skippers, was good yesterday.
He was good again. It was a good challenge, wasn't it, for him, because Soldo served it up to him at times, and watched a fair bit of it again last night, and their ability to hit the scoreboard quickly is one thing that Melbourne can do, and they're still working with what best suits their front half personnel, but to see Petty go forward and hit the scoreboard like he did to complement Malcolm and others, and they've got Fritz to come back to that team. We know he is capable of kicking multiple goals as he's done at the highest stage in a grand final. And they got Oliver to come back, which they tell me will come back this week. So they got some upside to come, and the ladder's starting to get really interesting. I'd hate to think about all the combinations, or you need a mathematical guru to work it out, because with 4 games to go, there's probably who knows how many live chances there are based on who wins and who loses and what happens to the ladder after that. Because we saw teams back in sort of 14th, 15th position before this round, and they're either just in the 8 or just out of the 8, and that's how you can make inroads quickly based on other games, what happens there, but also what you do as a team to control your own destiny. And that's why I think I'm totally against this wild card. Basically, we're having wild cards in the lead up to the finals 4 rounds out. There's wild cards every game based on this round's results. I just don't think we need to go down that line of saying, well, if you finish 10th or 9th based on all these opportunities you're getting in rounds, 20, 21, 22, 23 or 24, why do we need an extension of that? Because we're already living it.
Indeed. We'll chat more footy with you, Mick, later on this hour. 0416 90 50 52 if you want to shoot through a text. 0416 90 50 52. You're not here solely for footy talk this afternoon. You're here to do the form on the Maryborough Trots, and we are rapidly approaching start time for race number 3, where the favourite has been 290 into 270, now 260. Number 8, Master Combatant for James Herbertson. Number 11, Jarbella, 360 out to 440. Has been money at 12 into 750 for number 4, Dicko Dixon.
Yeah, this is a heat and final, Riley. There was 2 heats last Monday, and I'm going down the path of the 2 heat winners, and I thought Master Combatant was the most impressive heat winner. James Herbertson to drive, I thought it was really dominant in its victory, won by just under 20 metres. It was a $2.70 favourite there. It beat number 1, Sunrise, surprise to me, who's in this race comprehensively, and I see no reason why it can't get off the fence early, and knowing it's got a good driver in James Herbertson, it's clearly the horse to beat. I think the danger is the other heat winner, Jarbella, who worked forward early, got outside leader at the bell, and it also went past horses that were getting soft runs like Mum's the Word, and I can't see a horse like that turning the table based on barrier draw, and I think it's got a live chance. I think also you have to entertain numbers 10, Tara Tough, and also 9, Mum's the Word for the exotics, but I'd also be putting in number 1, surprise to me, for a place, number 4, Dicko Dixon, and I even think number 13 will be put in the race late, and it'll run on maybe for a place, and that's Millie, but I'm all about number 8 from 11 in this particular race.
Mick Look at Maryborough with us all afternoon and chatting some football. The gate is rolling at Maryborough. They're close. Here's Rob for race 3.
That draw. Race 3, the 30s trot final about to get underway. The mobile pulls away and away. Dicko Dixon began well with Prim's Luck. The two of them are vying for the lead. Prim's Luck the inside, Dicko Dixon the outside. The two of them are going pretty hard to the first turn. In third spot was Orphan Andy. Jarbella driven forward from the second row, so he's trying to get an advantage on Master Combatant, who was able to get off the pegs without too much trouble. So Jarbella's now posted out 3 wide, as these 2 leaders are still working hard. So Jarbella's going to have to go all the way back here, and Prim's Luck drives through to lead Dicko Dixon. In third spot, Orphan Andy. He's gone for a gallop now, Orphan Andy, about to be passed by Surprise to Me, Mum's a Word. Jarbella's still 3 wide. Master Master Combatant gets a very good run through from the second row, inside the second row draw. It's in a running line, and we'll appreciate this really hard burn early. In the second favourite's working overtime here, Jarbella. It's still 3 wide pressing on. Tara Tuff's on the back of Master Combatant. It hasn't spent a penny, about 15 metres away to Uncle Al, then Millie, and Orphan Andy after making that mistake is back last. Lead time very fast, 41.7. Oh, humming. Turning into the home straight, just on 1,200 to go. Prim's Luck leads the way from Dicko Dixon. They've spent some petrol those first two. In third spot, Jarbella. It's worked overtime. 1-1 was Mum's a Word, and on the pegs was Surprise to Me. Master Combatant will be absolutely giggling at the moment. It's 3 back in the running line and enjoying a very good trip. Right on its back's Tara Tuff, then Millie, Uncle Al, and Orphan Andy. 31.9 first quarter, and Prim's Luck hasn't really come up for a breather, and it's still running. It likes to free bowl. It's 31.9 second quarter like the first, but that lead time was very fast, 41.7, and Prim's Luck leads the way. I think it's on empty because Jarbella's about to move up alongside it. Then Dicko Dixon in 4th spot, Mum's the Word. Master Combatant just about these 3 wide. Surprise to Me comes off the pegs. Then came Tara Tuff, Uncle Al, Millie, and then Orphan Andy. They head off the back straight. Jarbella's reached the lead from Mum's the Word. Master Combatant's had every possible chance. It's 3 wide, just working into it nicely. Tara Tuff behind him, and then Surprise to Me. Jarbella is running a big race, 30.6 third quarter. Jarbella in front, Master Combatant out wide, and Mum's the Word come out after it. Then Tara Tuff. Jarbella's putting up a fight. Mum's the Word. Master Combatant's not coming that quickly. Mum's the Word is going up to Jarbella, who hasn't given in yet. Mum's a Word. Mum's a Word's got home. Finally, Mum's a Word scores from Jarbella. Wasn't it a run and a half? Master Combatant, well, it had every chance. Then 4th home's tight. We got Surprise to Me, Tara Tuff, Millie. Then came Uncle Al, Dicko Dixon, Orphan Andy, and Prim's Luck, the early leader. 30.6, 31.1. It's a mile rate of 2.8. Mum's the Word finally breaks through after a number of attempts, and Mum's the Word, 87 starts. That was his 4th win. It's been a while for this horse winning. Last win was back in November last year, and it gets rewarded with a win today. Number 9, Mum's the Word, salutes for Tina Reedus. She'll be stoked. Second placing to 11, Jarbella. 8, Master Combatant. 3rd, 4th to 10, Tara Tuff. So interim results, 9, 11, 8 and 10. Race 3 at Maryborough. Interim results 9, 11, 8 and 10.
There's your result. We'll have dividends shortly. After race number 3, we'll get the thoughts of Mick McGuan, who's found us a boxed first 4 there in the 3rd at Maryborough. At Warrnambool, it is correct weight, 7, 9, 10, 6. Race number 1. We'll look ahead to race number 2 shortly with Trav Noonan. And in a couple of minutes' time, Jamie Rogers joins us from the tab to see where the money's going at Warrnambool, the Savo. Totes to come at Maryborough, at Shepparton. They're at the boxes for race number 9. Favourite here at $1.35 is the forward Jetsons Flash. Number 3, Cool Kabang at $6.50. No boxing yet for race number 9.
The RSN Racing and Sport app. Rebuilt, and rebooted. So get to your app store, get the latest version, and get RSN coming in strong.
They've been loading in Sydney. Just waiting.
Never miss a moment, no matter where you are. The form talk, the interviews, those calls. They are ready. Plus our bonus channels, Extra and Extra 2. And at the bottom of the screen, the Expert Tips button takes you straight to the day's tips from the RSN form experts. The RSN app, reloaded. Get the latest version now at your app store.
Still no totes available for you after race number 3 at Maryborough. Here's Shepparton with Matt.
Good on you, Riley. And we've got Jetson's Flash, undefeated son of Barshabal. Start number 4 here for Mark Cartacini, who wears the blue jacket, $1.33. Cool Kabang at 7. Double figures the others, headed up by Ben Ollie and Jetworth, both at 12. Sportsbet Heat 1, this race over the 385 is the green light. Another short one, and it's Jetson's Flash. Set. Racing, and the Blue Jacket Jetson's Flash is away like a flash. Leads by 2 over 2 slow, going up second. Then Cool Kabang, the outside is Jetworth, followed by Coconut Santiago. 3 lengths away, Let's Play Tip with Played In. Last of all, Ben Ollie. But it's Jetson's Flash who's looking good to make it 4 in a row. Battling away the minors there. We've got Cool Kabang and also 2 slow, but it's all Jetson's Flash. Cool Kabang into second, 2 slow third, followed by Coconut Santiago and Let's Play Tip. Then Played In. And towards the back, Ben Ollie and also Jetworth. 21.62, Jetson's Flash, 2 strong. Race 9 at Shepparton. Nice performance there and pinged out. It was pretty much, what was it, in the end, $1.33 fixed odds, but I reckon it was about 101 after the start, maybe 105, but it was all over Red Rover and it's careered away and run 21.630, 804, 13.59. Now those interim placings, 4.367, interim placings there, 4.367. And the winner, Jetson's Flash, by Barsha Ballard, Jetson's Princess, has now won 4 from 4 and run a PB, clearly winning by 4 lengths. 2 1/4 back to a third. Jetson's Flash, Mark Cartaccini first. Second, 3, Cool Kabang, Greg Berry. Third in 6, 2 slow. Not sure why you'd call a greyhound 2 slow, but anyway, bit of a jinx. George Borg and number 7, Coconut Santiago, Paul Gabriel. 4.367, 4 lengths by 2 1/4, 21.630. And we stand by for those divvies to come through. But the interim placings, 4.367 on race 9. And impressive type, Jetson's Flash, and never gave them a look in the race 9 at Shep, with totes still to come.
Good on you, Matt. We'll clear those from the studio. Race number 10, numbers from Matt Jones. 2, 1, 8 and 3. Berryborough totes are up. It was 9, 11, 8 and 10. 9 Bums the Word at $8.80 and $2. 11 Jarbella at $2.20. 8 Master Combatant at $1.50. Quadella $20.30. The Exacta $46.30. Trifecta $155. Mickey McGuan's boxed first 4, $602.70. Running double on 10 and 9, returns $69.80. Mick, quick word on that race before we head to Jamie Rogers at the Tab. You've done well, found us box first 4 at $602, but if you are on the favourite, Master Combatant, you'd be pretty disappointed.
Yeah, it had the race run to suit, didn't it, Riley? The second horse was massive, Jarbella. It's flying for Ronnie Jewell and Brent Jewell's son, trained out there at Ross Creek. Johnny Caldo just couldn't get the horse up to the outside lead position early enough to give it a time to relax and just get into a good rhythm, but it done all the work, and it was unfortunate that it was sitting duck, and Mum's the Word was the right horse to get the job done. Tina Rittis does a good job with her horses. This horse is super consistent. It's had 88 starts now. It's had its 4th win today, but it's always been around the money. It's had 30 placings, so it's a very consistent conveyance. It's a 7-year-old, and good luck to Connections there. I thought the favourite, as you said, Riley, had every chance. The race was certainly turned on for it, but it was unable to reel them in. James Herbertson done nothing wrong on it. It looked the winner down the back with the card in it was getting, but it wasn't good enough up the lane. And the other horse that we said's going okay at good odds, Tara Tough, it's one to keep an eye on for the future. Mick Bellman gives his horses generally every possible chance, and he did again. Got the beautiful slipstream run in that 4th, 5th position down the back, and it ran on good out wide. And the other horse that had the beautiful pegs run that we thought might be a place chance was Surprise to Me. It finished in 5th spot. It was able to hold its spot after the start, and after there was good pressure up front, it boxed on okay up the sprint lane for Rory Coverdale. But full credit to the winner, well overdue. But the run of the race was clearly the second horse. It should have won easily.
Race number 4, Berryborough, comes up at 12 to 2. Short price favourite at $1.10 is 5, Alyssy and Jay. We're about 3.5 minutes out from the first from Corrowo. The 8 Dancing in the Sky, 460 into 290 heads the Marcus.
It's the latest Tab update.
22 past 1. Jamie Rogers, good afternoon.
Hi Riley, how are you?
Pretty good to start another week. How about you?
Yeah, can't complain.
Let's have a look where the money's going, Jamie. We are 1 of 8 down at Warrnambool this afternoon. Race number 2 comes up in about 8 minutes' time. Favourite at $2.80 is the 8 Rosetown Princess. 5 Lunar Angel at $4 and $5.50 for number 9 Under the Tassels.
So, Riley, it's really just those top 2 in the market that's seeing support, in particular the favourite, Rosetown Princess, at that $2.80 that you just mentioned. Lunar Angel is second. Now, the third best-backed runner is a horse at double figures, which is the 4 Arctic Charlie at $11.
Race number 3, maiden over the 1100, Jamie, at 2 o'clock. Number 2, Mate, heads the market at $3.90. Talia Hope, $4.20. 7, The Last Judgment. 5, Sports Beat at $4.40.
So it's the Last Judgment that is the best backed runner at that $4.20 price. Next best is Fall of Rome at $4.60, and then the favourite Matai at $3.90.
Race number 4, benchmark 58 over the 1100 open market 9, Rock Diamond at $3.60, heads at $5 for number 5, Bonds Your Back at number 10, Laureus, and the 11 Yaltara both $7.50.
So the best backed runner in this race is Bond Your Back at $5, and then Loris at $7.50 and Yaltara at $7.50. They're both holding very similar amounts, and they are the equal second best backed runners in this race.
Race number 5 starts the quaddy at Warrnambool this afternoon. The 1 Pythagoras heads the market at $2.90 for Tango and Cash at $4 and $6 for number 2 Mr. Razzle Dazzle.
So it's really just those top 3 in the market. So Pythagoras at $2.90 and Tango and Cash at $4. They're holding the exact same amount. And then it's Mr. Razzle Dazzle is definitely the third best backed runner here at that $6 price.
Race number 6 at the Bull this afternoon. Benchmark 70, where the favourite at $3.90 is the 6 Guido for Talia Hope, $4.20 for 4 Bear Arms and 7 Lycabeel.
So there's 4 horses here, Riley, that are holding pretty much the exact same, which is Guido, Bear Arms, Lycabeel, and then Flying Agent at $13. All pretty much, can't split them, very similar holds.
Handshake hits the market. Race 7, Jamie, it's at $2.50, $4.40 for the 2 Buoyant and 3 Accountability at $4.60.
So Handshake Riley at $2.50 is one of the better backed runners of the program, holding 3 times more than the next best, which is the 9 Prize Lad at $18.
Final race on the card, race 8 at 4:30. Number 5 Dustland Fairy Tale, Bo Burton's favourite $2.50, $5 for the 6 Grand Rock and 2 Moscow Red $5.50.
So Dustland Fairy Tale at $2.50 is the best backed runner of the program and is holding 8 times more than the next best in this race, which is Grand Rock at $5. And then Always Hunting at $11 has also been popular, but just nothing in comparison to the favourite.
Best back comes up in the last. That's where the money is going with the Gallops this afternoon. Thank you, Jamie. We'll chat some sport with you next hour.
Thank you so much, Riley. Chat to you then.
That's Jamie Rogers from the Tab.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.
They're about to jump at Corowa. Mick, some big news in the AFL.
Yeah, just before we get to the first at Corowa, Lance Buddy Franklin has announced his retirement effectively.
We'll hear more about that in just a sec. Let's get to Corowa. They're set.
And a perfect line. And Dancing in the Sky began well with Reboville, who was quickly into Strider. There, followed by Spiritly racing through in the centre, followed by Georgian Court, Nick's Hero, Let's Get Animal, followed by Aphrodite. And a length further back, last of all, as they settle down, Cracking Dawn. So Dancing in the Sky working along the rails, going by the 1,400 metre mark, leads from Reboville racing second. Running third on the inside, Spiritly at the 1,200 metre mark, about a length and a half further back. Georgian Court, Nick's Hero, Let's Get Animal, Court racing 3 deep. A length further back, Aphrodite, and 2 lengths to Cracking Dawn. They go into that far southern turn at the 1,000 metre mark and allowed to bowl for Dan Beasley. Dancing in the Sky, the leader. A half length to Reboville, about 2 lengths further back, Georgian Court. Spiritly in the centre, followed then by Let's Get Animal. Another 2 lengths further back in the field, Aphrodite, followed then by Nick's Hero. And there followed 2 to Cracking Dawn at the rear of the field. Dancing in the Sky, allowed to stride along towards the 600 metre mark in the run of the home turn. Leads Reboville, thereby followed then by Let's Get Animal. Further back was Spiritly, Georgian Court. Nick's Hero's easing to the outside, coming home well. He's forced out 3 deep, making his run, followed by Georgian Court and Aphrodite well back in the field, heading for home now. Dancing in the Sky for Dan Beasley. Dan goes for home at the 300 metre mark, got about 2 lengths clear on Let's Get Animal. Now Nick's Hero starting to wind up, is coming home hard on the outside, but Dancing in the Sky with about 100 metres to go is still at 2 lengths clear, and Dancing in the Sky is in front with about 50 to go now. Dancing in the Sky wins it well. Second, Nick's Hero, I'd say, just in front of Cracking Dawn. Let's Get Animal there, followed then by Aphrodite at the head of the others. Then came Spiritly, Georgian Court and Reboville the last to finish. Stand by for official placings. Dan Beasley dictating it out in front on Dancing in the Sky at $3 and $1.50. Judge will call for the photo for second. It is very close. Nothing much in it. I'd say Nick's Hero and Nose in front of Cracking Dawn, and Let's Go Natter will be fourth, I'd reckon.
Okay, 8 in the photo in the first at Corowa. We are rapidly approaching start time for race number 2 at Warrnambool. Trav Noonan, let's recap your thoughts here. Favourite is the 8 Rosetown Princess, $4 into 2.86 into 3.90 for the 5 Lunar Angel.
Yeah, we've got the 8 Rosetown Princess on top here, 8, 12, 5, 7. Rosetown Princess returns here on the back of some strong jump outs. One of those was at Penshurst on heavy ground and looked quite good there. Dean Yendall in the saddle, and some of her performances last prep, including a second at Cranbourne, looked good enough to win this maiden. So happy to be with her on top. 12 Dubai Dancer I thought could be an improver here, second start. Comes from a pretty hot maiden at Bendigo behind Manciera, was posted wide and got a little bit tired. Perhaps ridden a bit more conservative here, could run a good race. 5 Lunar Angels in good form for the Purcell stable, likes heavy tracks, gets a good run for Linda Meach. And 7 Red Paris is perhaps the best roughie in the race. Trapped deep last time at Matoa, but prior to that was a really good run at Warrnambool on wet ground. 8, 12, 5, 7, but keen on the 8 here.
Behind the gates for race number 2 at the Bull. Good on you, Trav. Had shepherded in the previous 4, 3, 6, 7. Number 4, Jetson's Flash at $1.10, $1.30. 3, Cool Kabang at $1.50. 6, 2 Slow at an even $5 the place. Cordella $3.70, Exacta $4.70, Trifecta $71.10. First 4, $473.90, and the running double on 6 and 4, $4.40. There you touch Shepparton race 9. At Corowa, 8, 2, 9 and 3, number 8 Dancing in the Sky at $3.70, $1.70. 2 Nick's Hero at $1.40, 9 Cracking Dawn at $3.40. Cordella $3.90, Exacta $6.90. Trifecta $63.50, first 4, $352.60. Race 2 Corowa at 2:05 this afternoon, late scratching of the 9. Just repeating that news that Lance Franklin has announced his retirement effective immediately. We'll chat more about that with Mick McGuan after Warrnambool, race 2.
Half dozen to move in here. Dubai Dancer just being led up into gate 3. Arctic Charlie gets ready. Rosetown Princess, who's the race favourite, comes along. She resumes here off a couple of recent jump outs. Exclusion Zone might just happen. They're the last couple as the starter heads around for race 2, the Tim Boyle Panels Maiden. Lights turned on, 1,300 metres. They're just about right to go. Race 2 might just happen has moved in. Field set. All clear given, they're underway. Nice even break 2. Dubai Dancer off an inside gate, one of the first out. Rosetown Princess puts herself immediately into a forward spot with Lunar Angel and Red Paris. Pensatore was next and then came under the tassels. Exclusion Zone might just happens about the widest runner in the first 200 metres of the race. Queen's Club is back second last. Arctic Charlie is the last one. Dubai Dancer had the lead inside 9.50 to go. Lunar Angel travelled up second. Rosetown Princess in a good handy position a length away third from Pensatore. Red Paris under the tassels. Exclusion Zone, Queen's Club, and towards the tail might just happen and Arctic Charlie at the 600. Dubai Dancer a neck in front down towards the home turn from Lunar Angel. A length away, Rosetown Princess. Red Paris is deep around her. Pensatore getting through on the fence. Then under the tassels, Exclusion Zone, Queen's Club, Arctic Charlie, and might just happen as they head into the home straight. Dubai Dancer led from Lunar Angel. Rosetown Princess 2 lengths away, is really under the pump. And then Red Paris under the tassels. Wider is Arctic Charlie at the 200. Dubai Dancer trying to fend off Lunar Angel. Sticking on Rosetown Princess a length away. Dubai Dancer kicks on strongly. Beat off Lunar Angel. Out wider is Rosetown Princess, but Dubai Dancer is going to go all the way. Dubai Dancer about a length. Possibly Rosetown Princess to get second, a nose in front of Lunar Angel, and then Queen's Club making some late ground. Exclusion Zone and Arctic Charlie were deeper out. Under the tassels was next in from Might Just Happen, Red Paris, and last in was Pensatore. Dubai Dancer jumps straight to the front, leads all the way here. Number 12, ridden by Harry Grace for Tom Dabinick, the 2-year-old filly here who wins at her second race start, and she was somewhat in the market today. She was an outsider at Bendigo in her debut run, and she got beat a long way there. But home track, second start, and she's been able to lead all the way here. Rosetown Princess will get up to run second right on the line off Lunar Angel, and Queen's Club will fill fourth place. 12, 8, 5 and 3. 12, 8, 5 and 3. Dubai Dancer, number 12, is a 2-year-old filly by Pride of Dubai, trained by Tom Dabinick and was ridden by Harry Grace. 8, Rosetown Princess second is a mare by Redwood. Dean Yendall, the rider for Mick Price and Mick Kent Jr. 5, Lunar Angel third, a filly by Star Spangled Banner for Aaron Purcell and Linda Meach. 4th in Queen's Club and 5th in was Exclusion Zone. The margins are a length and a quarter and a short half head, and the time a minute 23 flat, 1:23 the race time.
Number 12, Dubai Dancer at $5.80 and $2.20. 8, Rosetown Princess at $1.40. 5, Lunar Angel at $1.50. Cordella $10.30. Exacta $21.10. Trifecta $55.30. First 4, $814.40. Running double on 7 and 12, $17.40. Trav Noonan favourites were all thereabout. The race favourite, Rosetown Princess, looked like it was going to come, but it didn't eventuate for favourite backers race number 2.
No, it didn't in the end. She had a reasonably good run in the race there, Rosetown Princess, but when Dean Yendall really asked her for an effort about 400 metres from home, she came off the bit quickly. Not sure if she's completely comfortable in that heavy 10 condition. She kept grinding away and got second, but I think she'll improve maybe back on top of the ground a little bit more, or at least something a bit firmer than a heavy 10. Dubai Dancer, though, leading throughout here, comes through a very strong race at Bendigo behind Manciere. I'd be following horses out of that race. It was a hot little maiden there, and she's been able to lead throughout for Harry Grace, who's got a great knack of riding this Warrnambool circuit. Of course, took the Warrnambool Cup a couple of months ago, and Tom Dabinick in with a good hand today, so might not be the only time he's in the winner's circle.
Needs some help looking ahead to race number 3. Travity is open at 2 o'clock. Number 2, Mate, heads to market. It's at $3.90, $4.20 for number 7, The Last Judgment, and there's a few of them at $4. Early thought from you, race number 3 at the Bull.
Yeah, pretty keen on the debutant here, the 7, The Last Judgment for Alex Ray and Dean Yendall. Trials and jump outs have been really good, and I thought on a heavy track he's jumped out on it on a couple of occasions and been asked to extend on it. I thought he'd be pretty hard to beat. So 7, The Last Judgment for me in the third.
Okay, we might hear from Alex Ray. He was fairly confident when he spoke to Daniel Harpert on Breakfast with Harp's Early Mail just before 7 o'clock this morning. Good on your travel. Chat more about race number 3 in the next 10 or so minutes. More on Lance Franklin's retirement with Mick McGuan after Shepparton. They're approaching the boxes there for race 10. Favourite at $2.60. Number 2, Risking It All. Number 6, Me and Mitty at $4.20.
He's the big horse right now in Australian racing, and he proved it today.
Russian Camelot by 6. Russian Camelot's come from the back of the field and will win in a canter.
And he's king of the castle, Russian Camelot.
Russian Camelot, standing at Widden, Victoria.
Every one of us can be an Aussie cricket hero at Tricky Wicket. It's even better than being at the Ashes. Brilliant food on 3 levels. Your favourite brews and cocktails. The Ashes on every screen. And to get you pumped for a big session, Tricky Wicket has 4 batting nets where you can smash those cover drives, just like being at the Oval or in the backyard. Eat, drink, bat at Tricky Wicket. Food, brews and entertainment for all ages. 256 Glenferrie Road, Malvern, just down from High Street, and at trickywickets.com.
A big Battler's Spring is coming with a special deal for RSN listeners. Join now and get the spring and summer combo for just $440. You save over 50% with August included free. Over $900 value for just $440 compared to month to month. Don't miss out. Get ready for another massive Ruffy Battler Spring. Stop being tip favourites. Stop missing out and start having fun. AussiePuntingBattler.com.
Imagine what you could be buying instead.
Setting up Saturday at the races. The first word from 7. For the first-hand info from trainers and jockeys.
Waiting correct rate at Warrnambool after race number 2. Great to have Travis Noonan with us all afternoon looking at the Warrnambool card. Mick McGuan at Maryborough. We'll turn our attention to the next at Maryborough after Shepparton and chats more about Lance Franklin's retirement with Mick McGuan. Here's Shepparton, race 10 with Matt.
Okay, looks to be some pace in this. Risking It All, been going well. David Giltrane looking for a hat-trick. Mr. Fahrenheit's 1 from 1. It's out to 440. Just getting the wobbles a little. Me and Minnie, who was impressive here last time in 21.94, which is quicker than Risking It All, and Mr. Fahrenheit have gone. From limited opportunities, mind you. $7 Silky Sauce, and we're getting set for the Sportsbet Heat 2. And almost set to go. Risking It All, $2.70. The start will be important here. Set. And off they go, and it's Mr. Fahrenheit away nicely. Risking It All's close and handy, so too Sarah Louise. Further out on the track, then came Silky Sauce. Then Me and Minnie further back in the field when Dana Ladd. Out wide is Wreaking Havoc, and towards the end, Shay Shay Kabang. In the straight, Mr. Fahrenheit. Sarah Louise on the inside. Down the home running they go. It's Mr. Fahrenheit holding on, and Mr. Fahrenheit just wins it over Sarah Louise, Shay Shay Kabang. Then came Me and Minnie and also Silky Sauce. Then Risking It All, and further back in the field then when Dana Ladd and Wreaking Havoc back there as well. 21.80, Mr. Fahrenheit just survives in the end. Sarah Louise was getting close, and any thought of throwing in a Queen one-liner went out the door because it was just too close. Mr. Fahrenheit 1-3-4-6 807 1373 21.804. Mr. Fahrenheit wins it by Orson Allen out of Our Magic Turbo. Those interim results 1, 3, 4 and 6. Mr. Fahrenheit. Tommy Walk gets the winner. Black Dog Whelp, January 222, and makes it 2 from 2. Number 3, Sarah Louise. George Borg gets second. 4, Shay Shay Kabang gets third. Greg Berry, and number 6, Me and Minnie, has run fourth. 580, 190. Sarah Louise 260. Shay Shay Kabang 290. Fourth in 6. Quinella 2690. Exacta 4850. Trifecta 273, first 4 937, running double 4 and 1 $5.40. Yeah, right. I was trying to get anything into that call, travelling at the speed of light or Don't Stop Me Now, but it's not really my forte. But when it was that close, I thought it'd be too risky. 1, 3, 4 and 6, but it's 2 from 2.
Well done, Matt. Thank you. So 2 to come at Shepparton, race 11. Matt has them 4, 5, 2 and 8. Okay, Mick McGuan, let's look to the next ad. Maryborough. May not spend too much time on this race. It's 8 minutes away, only because we have a very short price favourite. It's currently at $1.04 on the toast. $1.09 fixed. Number 5, Elysian J hits the market.
Yeah, this is an Emma Stewart trained horse. It's a very nice 3-year-old filly. It's first up since October 2022 when it ran 6th of 10 in the homegrown 2-year-old fillies final. Kate Gath drove it that particular night. Mark Pitt drives today. Now, this horse trialled pretty well, I reckon, on the 19th of June when it ran second behind Oliver Dan, who's come out and since won at Bendigo. Wasn't knocked about. Its last mile was 158.4. It went 56 dead, 27.1. And it was making ground on Oliver Dan. If it was shaken up at all, it would have went past it whenever it liked, so it'll be winning, but there's no value there. I think we have to go try to punch into the trifecta and try to get it in a skinny way, and I think number 2 could be the horse who can run second. Didn't pace the other day that well last start, needs to improve its gait. C. Alfred off, Luke Dunn on. This horse has got some ability. Juice Coupe, who won that race, had been flying. They're the 2 horses we liked last week, and Juice Coupe won for Leilani Justice, and this horse went out the back and just couldn't tack on, just didn't pace. So I'm just hoping today it might be able to spear to the front, and if it does, I think it'll hand up to the favourite. From there it should run second. Number 1 will try to hold the lead for Johnny Caldo and Marie Caldo, but I'm just not sure whether it's good enough to run second and hold on even if it does sit behind leader. The other one that could go forward at the start is Island Phoenix, number 3. For Isabel Walsh and Lee Sutton. He should be aggressive. So numbers 1, 2, 3, whoever finds a lead there will hand up directly to the favourite. So I'm thinking 2 might be the one. Hands up to 5. 5 beats 2. And then I think number 3 is good enough, irrespective where it sits. Maybe goes back, tries to get into the single file that I think this race will be running, and sit 4th and probably peel outside number 1 and beat it home. So I'm thinking the numbers will be 5, 2, 3 and 1. So try to take the trifecta from a snack outlay of $1 and maybe get $20 of it. Small bet might get a good return.
Number 5, Elysian J, $1.09, fixed $1.04 on the tote. That race in about 6 minutes' time. At Warrnambool, it is correct weight, race number 2. Mick, no surprise, that news, I guess, that comes out in the last half hour after Lance Franklin was subbed out of the match early against Essendon. The 36-year-old highly decorated player has announced his retirement effective immediately. Firstly on that, no farewell tour for Lance Franklin, good or bad?
Oh, yeah, I like the effective immediately call in the view that he knows how bad that calf is, and with the season that's left, I think it's giving John Longmire and his fellow teammates an opportunity to bed down some sort of clarity around what their forward line looks like, knowing full well that they're using Hayden McLean in the ruck. Logan McDonald is a developing player he'll have to grow in status. Papley's down there, Heaney's down there. So they'll look at trying to get the right combination with Buddy not being in that forward mix. But I think he's also showing signs of what it means to be a really good valued teammate, to not make it about him. I've always been a believer once you retire, and that's it. But others like the fanfare that comes with, a farewell game or a send-off in the right way. Buddy might be talked into, let's have a lap of honour at the back end of the year, which I think at half-time or even before a game would be great excitement for the fans to say, thanks, Bud, put your hands together and clap him off. He's been an icon in this last 2 decades. When he started his career at Hawthorn, he's a 2-time premiership player there. He's kicked over 1,000 goals. Hard to do in today's environment, but he's certainly found a way to do it. And what happens generally next in these situations, these conversations are strong about where does he sit in the pecking order of key forwards that's played the game over the last 40, 50, 60 years. And straight away you gravitate to Lockett and Dunstall and Gary Ablett Sr. Wayne Carey comes into the conversation. Where does he sit against Stephen Kernahan? Matthew Pavlich, Nick Rewalt, all these types of guys that have been, fantastic players in key position posts in their forward lines at the clubs they played at. And Buddy Franklin, he's one player, and you rightfully mentioned, Riley or Fair, that he was the type of player that would put bums on seats. The turnstiles would be ticking over. Knowing Buddy was on display, particularly at his absolute best. People love to see the big boy do his stuff in front of the ball. He was athletic. Wasn't a great mark overhead, more a mark on a lead. Beautiful field kick. Sometimes he couldn't kick accurately goal, which led to frustration for him and his fans. But a very important player at 2 clubs. And I think what he's done for the commercial world of the Sydney Swans since he made the decision to go, not dissimilar to Lockett, when Lockett decided to finish his career at the Swans, the value of those 2 signatures has certainly put bums on seats, but it's made a stake in the ground for the Sydney Swans based on the New South Wales market was all about rugby league. And those 2 guys should be applauded for that, to make our game grow and evolve like it has in the the states of Western Australia, New South Wales, Victoria, Queensland. We need footy icons like Franklin and Lockett to put that club on the map, because at the time they certainly needed some credibility.
Some players are great players, but they don't have that X factor, and Buddy certainly had it.
He could turn a game, couldn't he? Nothing better coming up at the footy, 50 metres and in full flight, wheels under the left leg and hits it flush and goes through post height 55, 60 metres out. He did it regularly, but he also had the opportunity, the great ability to get up around stoppage, work through stoppage, get a handball received, run, bounce like that Essendon goal when Carl Hooker was left in his wake. A lot of people gravitate to that as one of the great goals they've ever seen, and rightfully so. Who will ever forget the time he came out of midfield and he jumped over an opponent? I forget who it was now. One of our listeners will certainly know who it was, and he kept his balance a bit like Timmy Watson did many years ago and made something of it. But he was a freak, a skinny kid when he came on the scene. I spoke to his dad one day at a hotel, and humble person. His dad was such a proud man of his son. He had no idea probably then, when talking about him, the player he was going to become. And you talk to Hawthorn people, and you listen to Jordan Lewis, good mate, Ruffy, good mate, Luke Hodge talks about Buddy. I'd love to hear Alistair Clarkson's thoughts on him now that he's finished his career, and you can talk about him at length because he's not in another club. I think he's going to get the right farewell from the right people, and there's a lot of people who are going to tune in and talk about what he's meant to them. And I think we can just sit back and applaud what a wonderful career we witnessed, because these types of players, Lance Buddy Franklin, they're once in a generation.
8-time All-Australian, 4-time Coleman medal winner, Hawthorn's leading goal kicker 6 times, 7 times for the Swans. A couple of premierships, as Mick mentioned, in 2008, 2013, before moving to the Swans. retires the fourth most prolific goal scorer in the history of the VFL AFL. Lance Sprankler of the Swans holding a press conference at 3 o'clock this afternoon. You'll hear more about that during Sports Wrap with Andrew Bensley from 4:30. It is 12 to 2. We'll look ahead to the next at Warrnambool shortly, but they're at the start at Maryborough for race 4.
Runners at the start, about to be called up, Elysian J, who's the very short prize favourite, this 3-year-old filly, raced by the Ben Stud Standardbreds, who also, of course, sponsor the back straight here, and cheerio there to Peter and Craig Judd and the team at Ben Stud. They always do an amazing job, and I've got my mares and foals there, and they've always looked after them exceptionally well, and they've got Elysian J involved here, and she's had the 3 starts to date for the win and second, 6th at Melton last start. That was back in October. It's first up, and she gets into the right race here with this small field. It's a Maryborough bearing 3-year-old pace. Elysian J, the short prize favourite, one of 2 fillies in the race with Island Phoenix for Isabel Walsh. Green lights on, racing. Elysian J from out wide on the track, just slowly but steadily moving forward. Captain Boak and also Time After Time have come out to show some speed on the inside. Time After Time leads the way from Captain Boak. Elysian J just thinking of moving forward. Time After Time might be looking for a trail. Captain Boak's going to put the foot to the floor here, and the two of them having a bit of a battle early. In third spot, Island Phoenix, and Elysian J will certainly appreciate the burn by these 2 horses up front. And last of all, at the rear of the field, came Kimchi. Heading down the Ben Stud Standardbreds back straight, and Time After Time leads Captain Boak. Elysian J now will take the opportunity to know that these leaders have all worked, and the favourite is going to stroll to the front. And an easy lead, 41.9 lead time, and the favourite Elysian J goes to the lead by 5 metres to Time After Time. In third spot, Island Phoenix, and Captain Boak, who was used up early, didn't have the luck and maybe the intention of trying to get to the front, maybe ending up. That didn't eventuate. It's back second last now, and Kimchi is last of all. 41.9 lead time. They work into the home straight. They'll come down to the winning post and they'll have a circuit to go. It's 30.6 at first quarter, and the filly Elysian J leads the way. The Emma Stewart trained runner Mark Pitt in the sulky, 4 metres clear. From Time After Time for John Caldo, and in third spot Island Phoenix for Lee Sutton. Fourth, about 10 metres away to Captain Boak for Luke Dunn, just been reined up there, and Kimchi at the tail of the field for Derek Craft. They swing out of the straight, about to head past the McPherson's printing group sign with 800 metres to go. Second quarter, 31.4. So the favourite has had all the favours, and she travels well. Elysian J, 5 metres clear. From Time After Time, Island Phoenix on a loose rein, just been reined up here to keep in touch here with Time After Time. It's not travelling at all well, Island Phoenix. Kimchi, the bolter, is about to move around Island Phoenix, and last of all Captain Boak, who spent a lot of petrol early. It's also under pressure, so there's a few tired horses out the back, but not Elysian J, the favourite. She's flying past the 400, 29.7. She's doing it easily. It comes down to what's the winning margin going to be. Elysian J is out 15, 20 metres to Time After Time. It can't do no better. About 25 metres away to Kimchi, then long intervals to Island Phoenix, Captain Boak, but it's all Elysian J. It's going to be an easy win, and Elysian J will come down and score. Wow, what's this margin going to be? 40 metres at least, and Elysian J scores and bolts in. Second, Time After Time. Third was Kimchi, and a long, long gap to fourth will be Island Phoenix going past the winning post now, and Captain Boak last, 27.8 the final quarter, and it's a mile rate of 158.6. Elysian J for Mark Pitt. Emma Stewart gets home here to take out the Maryborough Bearings 3-year-old pace. And number 5, Elysian J, scores. And an easy win. Second to one Time After Time for Marie Caldo and John Caldo. We stand by for the numbers to be semaphored. 6, which is Kimchi for Derek Craft. And fourth placing, we stand by, goes to 3, Island Phoenix. So the interim results here, 5, 1, 6 and 3.
There's your result. Race number 4 at Maryborough. Toads and the thoughts of Mick McGuan to come. We're about to look ahead to race number 3 at Warrnambool with Travis Noonan, but first to Shepparton for race 11 with Mass, and the favourite here from the 4, Nyali King.
Ali King has won 13 from 26. Samani called this one a few times, and it's been very impressive. It's never gone quicker than 21.72. So I ended up going with the 4 here, but Amani is a big danger. $4 Amani, $1.80 Naali King, $8 Militant Storm, and $8.50 Chasing Jess. Naali King has been campaigning up in the Riverina a bit lately. All set. Shepparton News, Danzel's Dash, they're set. And racing at Shepparton. Now, Amani's the one out the back. It's 2 lengths last. And Naali King's in a real scramble here. This could be an upset result. Amani swept around the outside, but Militant Storm there, but Amani might have it. Then Cool Militant, followed by a special pip. Naali King got caught in traffic, followed by Spring Blessing, left to Yell, and further back Chasing Jess, but Amani's going to win. It's Amani, Militant Storm second, a special pip, and then left to Till, and also Cool Militant from Naali King. Then Spring Blessing, and last of all Chasing Jess, 21.71. That greyhound's getting better and better. It's not all that quick at the start, but today probably was a blessing. Went from last to first very swiftly. Number 5, Lee Moore, 21.71, has run a very, very nice race, and it sort of hasn't, like those times are very impressive, but you get the feeling there's more in store, but it's sort of, I saw it last time here, it wasn't that well away, and then burst around the outside. So very impressive after box rise. 5.837 interim results. 5.837, 8.12, 13.61, 21.731. 1.5 lengths in favour of the winner by 3 1/4. As for Naali King, it just got caught up in traffic, and they went to the first turn, and it was one that did get caught up in the ruck somewhat, and it was all over from that point on. And Amani was sort of right place, right time, swooping around the outside, but that racing pattern, we've seen that before from it. 5.837, 1.5, 3 1/4. Those interim numbers 5.837. No divvies as yet on race 11.
We'll clear those, Matt. Thank you. Awaiting totes at Maryborough. They're not through yet after race number 4.
Now, an RSN Racing and Sport Market Update.
Race number 3 at Warrnambool this afternoon goes in 6 minutes at 2 o'clock. Maiden over the 1100. Number 1, Fall of Rome at 4.80. Number 2, Mate at 3.50. 61 for number 3, Palace Keys. 4, Sleeping Tiger, 41. 5, Sports Beat at 5.50. 6, Swiss Profit at 101. Just lose that market momentarily. Our favourite is number 7, The Last Judgment at $3.16 for number 8. At Agena, number 9, Barrabull at 14. We scratch runners 10, 11, 12, Order of Glory at 7, and 101 for number 13, Uptown Lucky. So Trav Noonan favourite here. Number 2, Mate has been fixed odds. $3.50 to $3.60 today. 4 into $3.80 for number 7, The Last Judgment.
Yeah, numbers here, we went 7, 2, 5 and 4 with The Last Judgment, who's on debut here for Alex Ray. Gene Yendall, I should say, in the saddle here. He's had a couple of jump outs this preparation, 2 of which have been on heavy ground at Cranbourne. He's won both of them in good style, beaten some handy horses in those jump outs, including a stakes-placed horse called Internal Flame. Most recent trial, he went to Terrelgan, ran second, and was beaten by a horse called Ray McNero, who probably was ridden out a little bit more than him over the final 100 metres, and that horse has subsequently come out and won a maiden at Pakenham. So, now, the form from his jump outs and trials is very good. He looks comfortable on heavy ground and gets a good run here for Gene Yendall. So, pretty confident that he's able to beat here the second starter, Matai, who didn't have a lot of luck on debut at Donald, sort of got behind him there from an inside draw and was held up majority of the straight, made some good ground late. That was a pretty strong maiden also. There's been some good form out of it. They look the clear top 2 picks here. 5 Sports Beat had a good preparation last time in, ran some handy races in some strong maidens. First up here this afternoon with a couple of jump outs to his name, Mick Shepherdson, a good trainer. I'd expect he'd be hitting the line hard. I thought the best roughie in the race might be 4 Sleeping Tiger for Rebecca Weymouth, though. This horse jumped out well at Mornington on a couple of occasions. Had the one run last preparation, was a little bit disappointing, but Beck gets her horses nice and fit, and they generally handle the heavy ground, and this horse has jumped out quite nicely. He's a big price at sort of $34. 7, 2, 5 and 4, but keen here on the 7, The Last Judgment.
Okay, and they're heading to the gates, Trav. Thank you. Alex Ray was on the early bail with Daniel Harp at breakfast with Harp this morning just before 7 o'clock. He's got the favourite here in The Last Judgment. Trav's on toppy.
Race 3, number 7 is your first runner then. The Last Judgment, who's the first starter, a Master of Design gelding. What has The Last Judgment shown you to suggest that he's a chance today?
Look, I've never personally been a massive rap on the horse, but his last 6 weeks has been terrific. He's really taken a positive step forward. He really seems to enjoy wet conditions, and we've sort of targeted this race expecting a really wet ground down at Warrnambool, as we can so often get. So, you know, his last couple of trials have been exceptional. He's had 3 this preparation, and he's really screwed down and ready to go. So certainly expecting him to put in a forward performance, and he probably gets a good opportunity today, considering the race falls away a little bit after the top couple of chances.
Have you put your finger on why the turnaround?
Oh, he's just taken time. He's by Master of Design. They can take forever or not at all. And then he's out of a Viscount mare that, you know, was as slow as anything. And his sister, who I trained, was a pretty handy mare, Secret Palace. She took forever. So, look, we've been very patient. He's always shown a little bit in his track work, but just putting it all together has been a really long process. And obviously waiting to the last day of his 3-year-old season can show us that.
Right, it's race 3, number 7, The Last Judgment. $4 in the early markets at tab.com.au on debut today. Race 5, number 2 is your other runner, Mr. Razzle Dazzle. Great name. First up today after about 4.5 months off the racing paddock. First up record's pretty good. Trial form leading into this?
Yeah, trials have been terrific. He's obviously he's won 2 from 18, so the jury's well and truly out on him. From my perspective, he's going as well as he can, but often when you get a horse off some pretty handy trainers like Paul Shaler and Lindsay Smith, and, you know, they come into the yard and they've only won 2 from 18, you're thinking it might be too good to be true. But, look, his work's been terrific. He's fit. He's ready to go. He gets his right conditions today. So, you know, hard to go to the races too confident, but as far as the horse is within himself, he couldn't be much better.
Well, Dean Yendall on the saddle certainly helps our cause there, you would have thought, for Mr. Razzle Dazzle. So $6 in the market at tab.com.au. For our punters today, Alex, what's your best with our dollar to finish off a great spreadsheet month?
The Last Judgment. If he can't deliver a result today, we're in trouble, and as I mentioned, he's certainly ready to go, so I'm expecting him to certainly be in the money.
Alex Ray on the early mail with half this morning has the favourite here now. Co-favourite number 7, The Last Judgment, number 2, Matai. They're both $3.90 fixed on the tote. Number 7, The Last Judgment heads to market. At Maryborough, race number 4, 5, 1, 6 and 3, 5 Elysian J at $1.04 defeats the one time after time at $4.70. Number 6, Kim Chi, no third tote. Quadella 6, Exacta 5.30, Trifecta 64.50. First 4, 75.80, early quaddy 3.10.95, 94.60, running double on 9 and 5, $11.70. Race 5 starts the quaddy at 23 past 2 this afternoon. In about 7 or 8 minutes, we'll have a look at that quaddy through the eyes of Mick McGuan. At Shepparton, 5.8375, Amani at 4.50, 1.90, 8 Militant Storm at 2.10, number 3 a special Pip at 3.60, Quadella 18.10, Exact at $30.70, Trifecta 236.90, first 4 1,000, 678.30, and the running double on 1 and 5, 18.60. Last at Shepparton, race 12 at 12 past 2. Here's Warrnambool, race 3.
It's not long commenced. It's nearly $4 the field. $3.90 The Last Judgment. Just has favouritism at the moment from Matai at $4.20. Sports Beat firming late $4.40. Fall of Rome steady at $5. And then out to Order of Glory, who's around that $9 to $10 range. They're the main ones in the mix here. Palace Keys looks to have just gone in now, so Adagina is the next one to load, who was held up until pretty late there at Bairnsdale in her debut run. It's about a $16 chance here. Now the rider of Swiss Profits back on, Melissa Julius, so they're leading him up into gate 2. Everything's okay there, so he's loaded. Matai, who was luckless, as we all now know, at Donald on debut, moves in. Fall of Rome is ready. So just these last few to get set now. Barrabool, Sleeping Tiger, The Last Judgment and Sports Beat. Starter will shortly head around for the third, the Star Printing Maiden. Sleeping Tiger goes in. first starter. The Last Judgment is ready, and Sports Beat. Blinker's first time for him. Draws the outside gate, is the last one up. 1100. All ready. Gates open, they're underway. Fall of Rome jumped really well from a wide gate and is pressing on towards the lead with Sleeping Tiger, Barrabool. Mattai's going to be prominent off an inside gate. Palace Keys is out wider. The Last Judgment, Order of Glory were next, followed Swiss Prophet, Sports Beat, Uptown Lucy, Adagina is the last one. Fall of Rome just holding on to the lead here, 700 to go, led a half length. On his inside is Mattai. A length away third is Sleeping Tiger from Palace Keys and Barrabool. Midfield is the Last Judgment, then Swiss Prophet, Sports Beat. Further back to Uptown Lucy, Order of Glory. Last is Adagina as they run down to the home turn. So it's Fall of Rome still holding the front here from Mattai against the fence. Sleeping Tigers deeper. Palace Keys, Barrabool were next, followed by the Last Judgment. Sports Beat under pressure. Swiss Prophet headed the others. Fall of Rome led for home. Beat off Mattai for the time being. Sleeping Tiger, the Last Judgment starting to appear now. Fall of Rome had the lead, but the Last Judgment finishes strongly. Mattai picking up and going with it. It's the Last Judgment and Mattai to fight it out. The Last Judgment with a narrow lead, and the Last Judgment beat Mattai. Third's either Fall of Rome or Atagina, who was deeper out. Sports Beat was next in. And then came Uptown Lucy, followed Barrabool, Palace Keys, Swiss Prophet, Order of Glory, and at the rear was Sleeping Tiger. So the Last Judgment wins here. The first starter in the race, number 7, ridden by Dean Yendall for Alex Ray. And has finished off strongly here. Got out to the middle of the track at the top of the home straight. It's let down well. Mattai was under pressure fairly early, but has kept lifting and has only been beaten about a neck from the winner. And it's ended up being close for third. Fall of Rome and Atagina are the two in that image for third spot. But 7 first, 2 second. The Last Judgment, number 7, is a 3-year-old by Master of Design. Winner trained by Alex Ray and was ridden by Dean Yendall. And has been able to score at his first race start at 7, 2, 1 and 8 official. 7, 2, 1 and 8. So the Last Judgment wins. Mattai in second. Number 2 is by Caravaggio for Mitch Friedman and Talia Hope. Fall of Rome, number 1, holds on to third by Warhorse for Lisa Jones and Jack Hill. Fourth in was Atagina and fifth in was Sports Beat. Margins are a long neck and 2 lengths. The time for the race was 1:8.07. The Last Judgment jumped off as favourite for the race. $4 on the VOP. Shorter than that on Super Tab at $3.10 and $1.70.
And we'll have dividends in full in just a moment. They're getting close here at Corowa for race number 2. Favourites, number 1, Dacos. It's actually co-favourite, $3 for Dacos, the 1, and number 2, Caddy Hell. They're both at $3. Warrnambool 7, the Last Judgment, $3.10. 172 Mattai, 181 Fall of Rome at 190. Exotics and the thoughts of Trav Noonan after the win of the Last Judgment after Corowa.
Now, Freak Shape's riders in the irons, in the framework of the stalls. I don't think he's quite on yet. Brendan Ward. Now, they started to go back to the back of the barrier stalls. There's a little bit of movement there, and I don't think Brendan Ward is balanced in the irons at this stage. Hang on, we've got word coming through here.
So at Warrnambool 7-2, 1 and 8, Quadella 9.20, Exacta 16.30, Trifecta 72.10, First Four 522.10, Running Double on 12 and 727.10. 7-2, 1, 8, race 4 the next at 2:30. Let's head back to Corowa.
Going a vet's inspection, Freak Shape at the start. At Corowa, you note here, and there was a late scratching before. Persista coming out at 12.43. Freak Shape, who ran a very good second at Leeton last Saturday. Would you note Freak Shape is a late scratching on vet's advice? Would you note a late scratching? Freak Shape is a late scratching. Would you note Freak Shape coming out late? And we've got 2 late scratching. Persista came out at 12.43, and Persista now is a late scratching, and also Freak Shake coming out. So Freak Shake and Persister, 2 late scratchings here, just about to go. Standing by for a start. This is the second event on the program, and away they go this time. Little Bathsheba jumped away fairly well. High Poppy was brilliantly away, is going very fast early, and so too is Canny Hill driving along and going fast. Dacos through in the centres, going fast towards the lead, followed by 8 Moon as they settle down. Little Bathsheba back to midfield now, is racing there. They're followed about 2, Callista getting back, followed then by Stella Siren, who's a good way back in the field, and so is Tanika Rain, and about 3 lengths further back, Absolute Victory. They race up to the home turn here, and getting up on the inside as they prepare to swing is Dacos. Dacos heads for home in the black colours, hard against the rail and leads into the straight. There followed then High Poppy, easing out now, and starting to come home is Canny Hill on the outside, and Little Bathsheba down to the 200 metre mark. Dacos, High Poppy, and now coming hard is Canny Hill on the outside. Canny Hill sprinting quickly, shot to the lead. Canny Hill, it's all over, wins it brilliantly. Canny Hill second, there's a line of 3 there. Little Bathsheba out wide with Dacos and High Poppy, followed by Stella Siren. There followed at the head of the others Callista, followed by Tanika Rain. Well back in the race then. Behind those now pulling up very quickly was 8 Moon, and just in front of it was Absolute Victory there, and Callista and Tanika Rain was finished about third last.
5 Windsors and a blanket go for second, 5 and a photo after race number 2 at Corriway. Get your pens or pencils poised. We're about to check that Maryborough quaddie through the eyes of Mick McGuan. First though, Trav Noonan, we await correct weight after race number 3 at Warrnambool, 7-2-1-8. Good win there for You're on Toppy, the last judgment.
Yeah, it was. It took him a little while to wind up. I don't know if he was clear on what to do before Dean Yendall sort of cut him with the whip, and then he responded strongly. The last bit of his work really encouraging. He's a horse to follow. The second horse, Matai, very good as well. I think it'll be winning a maiden very soon. But the winner, he's a nice horse on the way up.
We'll look ahead to race number 4 shortly, Trav. Thank you. Shepparton goes at about 2.5 minutes. Race number 12. Favourite is the one, Ishmael Ruby. No, it's not favourite. At 3.30 is the 2, Bella Beauty. 3.40, number 5, Dash of Crimson. Result at Corriway, 5-4, 8-1. Okay, Mick McGuan, quaddie kicks off at Maryborough, race number 5 at 2 this afternoon. What are your thoughts on the Maryborough quaddie?
Yeah, in the first leg of the quaddie, Riley, I think number 4 is the favourite. It's second up, it'll be Fitter. 3-year-old filly, I think it'll get the front, but it's short enough. It's only had 12 lifetime starts. On the 7th of July, it was first up at Wagga. It sat 1-1. It had every possible chance. We know it's ran in the heat of the Oaks. It's got good ability. The short trip suits, so it has to go in the quaddie, but I'm trying to get it beat just because the even money I don't think represents any value at all. So I've got to put it in, but those around it, I want to put in number 7, Sweet Creation. I think it's over the odds. I reckon number 9 definitely goes in. Our True Colours, good trailing draw. It'll follow out good speed off the front line. It's got a bit of a turn of foot, this horse, and I think it could feature in the quaddie. Number 8, the Final Bow, has to go in the quaddie as well. Herbie, it's won 2 of its last 3. It's racing well. What's he do at the start? Does he sit behind Girls View? Will probably try to hold the lead, but its last start was pretty scratchy in the score up. It might try to show some gate speed. I think number 2 can probably try to get across it. 4 will look for the lead. There's a bit of speed out wide in number 6 and 7. So there might be a bit of heat on early on this race, and on the back of that, I think we're trying to get this favourite beat. Even numbers 10 and 11 can go on the quaddie, Riley. So go wide. 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 the first leg. In the second leg, I'm pretty keen on number 8 here, even though it's a trotter's race. It's off 10 metres, Miss Francine. I just think this horse, it's had 3 goes from a stand. It's had a second. Last stand was in October 2022 at Maryborough. It ran well, and I think last start, if you have a look at the replay, got held up, got dragged out of the race, lost a couple of lengths in the run around the 400 metre mark, used a sprint lane to get up the straight or right, got home in 57.6, 28.9. So I think that's good enough form for this. So I'm tipping number 8 to be top pick. I reckon there's a couple of other horses you have to put in the quaddie, particularly number 3. I think it's got a good chance. Also, you've got to put in number 6, 9 and 10. In the third leg, I think we'll go 8 top pick. outside it, put in numbers 1, 3, 9 and 10. And the last leg, I think we can go pretty skinny, 4 and 12. But if you've got the budget to go a little bit wider, put in numbers 2, 3, 5 and 7. But I think if you want to go real skinny, I know there's a race coming up, maybe 4, 7, 8, 9. Just take number 8, 1 out in the second leg. Take maybe 3 and 8 in the second leg to go a bit wider, and 4 and 12 in the last leg. That's my top line quadrella.
Mixed thoughts on the quaddy at Maryborough. We'll get to those Corowa totes in just a moment. Paul Hammond, a few moments away with his preview of racing at Traralgon. Here's Shepparton, race 12, the last.
Open figures here for the Sea Cage Painting Damsels Dash. Good luck in our final race. Set. And off they go, and Louisiana Reef out the back early. And it is Dash of Crimson who burns out, runs to the first bend, about 2 clear over Bella Beauty. Then came Me and Magpie, the inside Argyle Bell, our Deep Soda Kiwi. A break Louisiana Reef making some ground from Our Girl Socks. And last of all, Ishmael Ruby. In the straight here, Bella Beauty raced by Dash of Crimson. Late Argyle Bell, but it's Bella Beauty too good from Argyle Bell, and also Dash of Crimson. Louisiana Reef late from Soda Kiwi, and then came Ishmael Ruby, and towards the end, Me and Magpie. Last of all is Our Girl Socks. That's a nice run from the winner, 21.734. Bella Beauty, first race, 12 Shepparton. Too strong in the end. Dash of Crimson, who was just about equal favourite, second favourite, but only marginally behind Bella Beauty in the odds. Had the pace initially, but couldn't go with Bella Beauty, who scorched away and ran really good time, 21.734. Has now won 11 from 27. First try of a course and distance, and showed its class here, running good time. 8:08, 13:65, 21.734. It's 3.5 by 1 3/4. Interim results 2.753. 2.753. Bella Beauty by Fernando Ballard of Bonnie Beauty as the totes come up. 7 Argyle Bell, Callum Blake. Number 5 Dash of Crimson, Jason Sharp, and number 3 has run fourth. 3.40 and 1.90 for Bella Beauty. Argyle Bell at $2.20. Dash of Crimson 1.30 and fourth in 3. Quinella 11.50. Exacta 17.50. Trifecta 74.80. First four 267. Running double on 5 and 2. $17.90. 2.753. That wraps up Shepparton today. I'll be back on deck Wednesday at Bendigo. Talk to you then.
Good on you, Matt. Thank you. Matt Jones signing off at Shepparton. So as we wrap up at Shepparton, we look towards the first at Traralgon, not too far away. Paul Hammond on duty, calling duties there this afternoon. Paul, good afternoon to you.
And likewise to you, Riley, and good afternoon all. And the first race, as you alluded to, at 2:27, and the lucky last at 6:02. I think the best comes up in race number 12. That's number 8, Pacific Rock. I think it's got a very good chance to win. It's only about 180 for the Bickett and Kennel, but was a pretty handy win here last start, and has had 7 goes here for 2 wins, and has run pretty good time a few runs here, including a 1993 a little while ago over this course and distance. So I think it's going to be pretty hard to beat in the last race, 12, number 8, Pacific Rock. If you want to add a little bit of value to it and maybe take a multi, race 3, number 4, Cade, looks the best of good things. It's only about $1.25 or thereabouts. But so if you multi them up, you get about 220 odd. I thought the value might be race 6, number 6, Mr. Spectre. He's about $10. I think if you back him each way, he's probably the best value for mine for the whole program. Race 6, number 6, Mr. Spectre at the odds. The quaddie today, first leg 4, 5, 6, 8, second leg 6, 4, 2, third leg 1, 3, 4. And the last leg, 3, 5 and 8. That'll be 108 for $1, which I don't normally like to spend that much, Rolly, but I'm happy to take a flexi on those numbers. So first leg, 4, 5, 6, 8. Second leg, 6, 4, 2. Third leg, 1, 3, 4. Last leg, 3, 5 and 8. It's a very windy day here, but hopefully we'll find plenty of winners at Traralgon this afternoon.
Good on you, Paul. Thank you. Good calling at Traralgon. Okay, at Warrnambool, it is correct weight now. Race number 3, 7, 2, 1, 8 at Corowa. 5, 4, 8 and 1. 5 Candy Hell at $2.40. $1.24 Little Bathsheba at $1.80. 8 High Poppy at $5.40. Quadella 8.40, Exacta 11.20, Trifecta 253.70. First four 646.70, and the running double on 8 and 5 $6.60. Late scratchings of 2 and 9, sub the 5 it was the winner. Correct way to tidy up race number 3, 2 at Corowa, race 3 at 20 to 3 this afternoon. It is 16 past 2. Let's head back to the tavern. Jamie Rogers.
It's the latest tab update.
Well, off the back of another big weekend of footy, let's have a quick look at the Premiership update, where Collingwood have gone from 2.7 out to 2.75 after their loss to Carlton. Melbourne are back into second favourites into $5 after yesterday's win over Richmond. Port Adelaide went from they were $5.50 out to 7 after losing in the showdown. Brisbane was another drifter, but it was Carlton that was the biggest firmer of the round, 23 into 10. They have now won 6 in a row, and that is obviously off the back of that win over Collingwood on Friday night. Well, tonight it's a big one. The Matildas are up against Canada. It's a must-win clash for the Aussies. They are the favourite way at $2.25, and they are holding more than double what we've taken on Canada at $3.20, with the draw at $3.30 in the first goal scorer market. At Sam Kerr, that is the favourite for the Aussies at $5.50, and also seeing support at that price, with Mary Fowler next at $7.50. Well, let's have a quick look at the Ashes, where Australia need 249 runs in 98 overs to win. They are none for 135 at stumps. It was a rain-affected fourth day, but they are very close, Aussies, to pulling off a win at the Oval. So England are outsiders at $3.40 and Australia are at $1.80. The draw is at $5, and the money is definitely sitting with the Aussies at that $1.80 price.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.
New on RSN evenings, the weeknight whip around. 5:30 Monday to Friday, it's the key form and tips for the night's racing for all Victorian venues and all codes. We check in with our form experts and callers in a compact, done and dusted 30 minutes. Start your night's racing with the weeknight whip around. 5:30 till 6, Monday to Friday evenings. More in your race night from RSN Racing and Sport.
When I was a kid, I was fascinated by planes, even though I didn't see many in the town where I grew up. So at school, I took every opportunity I could to get more involved in STEM. I learnt more about planes, and eventually, I ended up where I wanted to go. I'm Taylor Griffin, a proud Gungaloo woman and an aerospace systems engineer at Boeing Defence Australia. National Science Week can show you how to bring your fascination to life. To find out more about this year's events, visit scienceweek.net.au.
Now on our racing coverage, night and day, expert form analysts.
Now, an RSN Racing and Sport market update.
It is at 19 past 2. We got 10 minutes out from race number 4 at Warrnambool. Open market here. Benchmark 58 over the 1100 metres. The 1 is out. Number 2, a good yard at 17. Number 3, China Affair at 31. 26 for number 4, More Money Please. 5, Bonds Your Back at 4.40. Number 6, Gnarly at 41. 7, Pocket Rocks at 19. 8, Diablo at 12. 9, Rock Diamond, $4. 7 for number 10, Laureus. 11, Yoltara, $7.50. 12, Night of Mayhem, it's at 11. 13, Prophet's Choice, $8.50. 14, Salisbury Hill, 101. And 15, Just Atomic at 41. 16 does not start. Okay, Trav Noonan, open market here for race number 4 on the card. The favourite, the 9 Rock Diamond today, $3.50 to $4. 5 into $4.40 for number 5, Bonds Your Back. What are your thoughts, race 4?
Yeah, with the 5 Bonds Your Back on top, we went 5, 10, 9 and 12. This horse was very good 2 starts ago on the Lakeside track at Soundown on heavy ground behind Star Mistress and Vor. Prior to that, he ran 4th at Swan Hill in a pretty strong race behind Impending Shadow and the Guava, who've been city competitive since then. Last night he went to Geelong on good ground, and I just don't think he's as effective on that firmer surface. Back to a heavy track today, where he won his maiden. I think he'll be pretty hard to beat on his home surface, so I'm pretty happy to take the price, Bonds Your Back. I thought on his performances on wet ground you could mark. He gets back, or if she gets back to her best with the blinkers going on, Linda Meach in the saddle, she's a good chance here, the 10 Laureus. The most interesting runner in the race is probably the 9 Rock Diamonds. Had 2 starts for the Mara and Eustace stable, bolted in on debut here, but that was on good ground, then went to Moonee Valley disappointed when hard in the market. Has jumped out well leading into this preparation, but they have been on the synthetic track at Ballarat, so she's a query on heavy ground. That's why I've sort of got her third pick. But she's certainly shown enough ability to be competitive here, and perhaps the best sort of value runner in the race is the 12 Night of Mayhem, who just loves this track. 3 3 goes here for 2 wins and a second, and loves heavy ground. So was competitive last time at Sandown. Before that was a winner here. So it's certainly in the mix. But 5 Bonds Your Back, pretty keen on him here. I think he's a very good bet at sort of that $4 plus range. 5, 10, 9 and 12.
10, 9, 12. Good on you, Trav. Okay, good luck with your bet at Warrnambool race number 4 on the card. Gates about to roll for race number 5 at Maryborough. This does start the quaddie this afternoon. Favourite fixed odds at Maryborough. And at even $2, here's number 4, Sweet Agenda. It's in from $2, got into $1.90, back now to $2, $9.50 and a 6 for the 9 Our True Colours. Opening race at Traralgon goes at about 3.5 minutes time at $1.40. The 7 Ernie Potts heads the market. Race 1 at Traralgon. Here's Maryborough, race 5.
Thanks, Riley. Welcome back to Maryborough here. Favourite Sweet Agenda, who's the favourite at $2. She's second up. I think she gets her chance to get back into the winners list here. She was unplaced at the Riverina at Wagga last start, but certainly back to the sprint course should help her. She's a quick beginner. And Sweet Agenda, the favourite here at $1.95, just firming up. Our True Colours going really well. Marie and John are doing a terrific job with their team. And I haven't seen Our True Colours race as well as what it has been of late at $6. Gets a nice second row draw. Has got a good sprint on it. Final bow inside the second row at $7.50. And Girls View gets the draw here to just be off the speed. But Sweet Agenda, to mine, looks the horse to beat clearly. As they come up here for race 5, the world's best hoof oil pace. Shane Sanderson and Ryan Sanderson combine here with the favourite Sweet Agenda. Race 5, good luck with your investments for the quaddies today and away. Safe Jules and Sweet Agendas began fast. She's looking for the lead here, the favourite. And Sweet Agenda will stroll to the front, coming across from its wide drawer. We've got Nicole's Cruise and Sweet Creation's going to press on, looking for the top. So a very aggressive drive by Glenn Bull from outside the front row takes up the running from Sweet Agenda, who was content to take the trail. Sweet Creation likes to lead, and Sweet Agenda sits behind it. So the 2 Sweets are running 1-2. In third spot was Nicole's Cruiser, Safe Jules in a 1 out, 1 back trail. Girls View 3 back the pegs. Then further back to Our True Colours, who's 3 back in the running line. 4 back along the inside was Final Bow in an awkward spot. Kid with a Grin is third last from Yankee Boot Flat, and Paige the Hurricane is last of all. First quarter, 28.7, and Sweet Creation's going to attempt to lead throughout. It likes to lead, and it shows the way 3 metres. 2 in second spot, Nicole's Cruiser, and Sweet Agenda. Sprinters yet to be popped the question. Then Final Bow, 3 wide Kid with a Grin, who tries to flush out Our True Colours, who's now going to sprint up fast to these leaders. Might try to see if it can actually get to the front before that sprint lane, because the favourite's travelling strong, Sweet Agenda. Kid with a Grin, 3 wide with a trail. Yankee Boot Flat joins that 3 wide trail from Paige the Hurricane and Final Bow. Our True Colours has put the... then we've got Yankee Boot Flat out wide. Sweet Creation. Further back in the field, Nicole's Cruiser. Paige the Hurricane, Final Bow. Girls View. And one even further back, Safe Jules. 28.6, 28.7 home. Mile rate 156.6. Sweet Agenda gets home. He was sweating there because Our True Colours, John Caldo, it was a great drive. He realised the favourite was in all sorts of trouble. If he could pinch a break, he did that, but the sprint lane came up. Placings 4, 9, 10, 11.
Thank you, Rob. Favourite gets in after some nervous moments. Race number 5 at Maryborough. They are boxing at Traralgon. Let's get to Paul for the first.
Getting set for the opening race on the card. Ernie Potts by Aussie Infrareds, the red-hot favourite for the opening race on a very blustery and windy day here. The sun is shining brightly, and we're almost ready to go for the opener. There's the green light. Set for the first. First of 12 here. They're ready. Racing Ernie Potts began only fairly. Showing pace out wide was L's My Mate. Now Ernie Potts is driving through to take the lead from L's My Mate. Jessica Gem third. Then further back was Night Cuddle. The outside Stellarino. Wide there forward step well. Back Rolling Coal, and at the tail was Bombers Lunatic. Around the home corner though, and Ernie Potts, the hot pot, will win it. Ernie Potts wins by 8 lengths to Jessica Gem, tight for third. Forward step or Night Cuddle. Just off those was L's My Mate. Then came Rolling Coal. Well back was Stellarino and Bombers Lunatic, and the time there is 22:56. So an easy win here for the hot favourite Ernie Potts for Lisa Helmuth by Aussie Infrared Starter Right. Beautifully bred chaser. Splits there with 385, 907, 14.29, and the time 22:56. 22:56 on the first. The interim numbers here are 7, Ernie Potts, 6, Jessica Gem, 4 and 5. 7, 6, 4, 5. We'll have more shortly on race number 1.
Thank you, Paul. At the gates at Warrnambool for race number 4. Get your bets on there at Maryborough in the previous 4. Sweet Agenda at $1.70 and $1.10. Number 9, Our True Colours at $1.80. Number 10, Kid with a Grin at $3.60. 4, 9, 10, 11. Quadella $6.80. Exacta $8.10. Trifecta $60, $7.70. First 4, $352.20. Double on 5 and 4, $2.60. Mick McGuan didn't look, didn't look likely, but some nervous moments if you're on the favourite 4, Sweet Agenda, but it gets the job done in fine style.
Yeah, absolutely. This horse, as we know, has got a great turn of foot. It's a 3-year-old filly. You go back to February, it won at Menangle. It went 154.8, 56 last half. It won that race at $9.50 by a half neck. And from that night, you thought, well, this horse has got great ability, good future. And then it went to the Cordina Group New South Wales Oaks, ran in a heat of that, ran 10th of 10 when it was restrained at the start, got back along the fence, never got in the race. First up this campaign, 7th of July, as I said, went to the Riverina and Wagga and had every possible chance at $3.30. Naturally fitter, went to the front and handed up to Sweet Creation. And I suppose, as Rob rightfully pointed out, John Caldo's drive was probably the best losing drive you'll see for the day, because he summed up the situation thinking, if I can steal a march on the horse that's got the best turn of foot by the leader collapsing back on it, Our True Colours was off and away and going to win the race. Did everything right, just couldn't see it out. The paralysing sprint that Sweet Agenda's got was good enough to reel the John Caldo horse in and win the race.
Not raced for a little while, but if my memory serves right, he can take a while to go in a good yarn. I wouldn't be surprised if Luke Williams dismounts before too long. It's about another half dozen to load after he moves in. So I'd say Luke Williams will be dismounting shortly from a good yarn. He just doesn't look too interested in moving in under the current conditions. This is a challenging race for punters. Bonds Your Back looks like running the race favourites, just trimmed down from $5 to $4.20 in the last couple of minutes. Laureus $6, Prophet's Choice $8, Night of Mayhem $9. There's no money at all for Rock Diamond here, who's gone basically $4 to $8.50. So I think a good yarn is right now. So Soon Ali's moved in, Rock Diamond goes up. And the last few coming along include Pocket Rocks, who has Winkers on first time today. Night of Mayhem, More Money Please, and Just Atomic has drawn the wide alley here for Taylor Childs. So we're nearly set for the 4th, the Western District Agri Centre Handicap. 1100, lights on. And off they go. Laureus a little bit slow to get going. More Money Please, one of the first out. Bonds Your Back jumped well. China Affair, Pocket Rocks and a good yarn developing speed. Yaltara's not far away. Rock Diamond was next, and then Diablo, Soon Ali. Further back in the field came Prophet's Choice. With them is Laureus, Knight of Mayhem, Just Atomic, and the last one is Salisbury Hill. They head inside the 700. More Money Please had the lead from a good yarn who's a neck away. A length on China Affair, Yoltara, Pocket Rocks, then Rock Diamond. Behind them to Bonds Your Back, and then Prophet's Choice, Yoltara, Salisbury Hill. Out wider is Diablo from Soonali, Knight of Mayhem, and Just Atomic last. They turn, 400 to go. A good yarn's gone up to test More Money Please. Pocket Rocks, China Affair right there. Yeltara's awaiting a run. Rock Diamond's wider, and Bonds Your Back starting to work into the race. A good yarn challenged by Pocket Rocks. Bonds Your Back out in the middle, and then China Affair followed Prophet's Choice. Bonds Your Back ran to the lead at the 100 from China Affair, but Bonds Your Back finishing best, pulls away late, and Bonds Your Back won it by 2 lengths to China Affair. Prophet's Choice third in front of Salisbury Hill, and then Pocket Rocks and Rock Diamond ahead of Diablo and Yeltara. Laureus was next, and then Knight of Mayhem, Soonali, More Money Please, Just Atomic, and the last one in was a good yarn. So Bonds Your Back, who started favourite in an open race, has delivered there. Number 5, ridden by Jared Fry, was one of 3 runners for Tom Dabenig in the race, and the slightly more fancied of the trio has been the victor. China Affair at good odds has sat handy and run a good race. Prophet's Choice seemed to only really get clear late and has got into third, and Salisbury Hill's come from just about last on the turn to run fourth. 5, 3, 13 and 14. 5, 3, 13 and 14, the result here to race 4 of the day. So Bonds Your Back, number 5. The winner's a 3-year-old by Bon Oram, trained by Tom Dabenig. That gives the stable their second win of the day. Jared Fry with the ride here, and defeats 3, China Affair, who's by Toronado for Paul Pruska and Ryan Houston. 13, Prophet's Choice third is by Nostradamus, Peter Chow, Dean Yendall. Salisbury Hill runs 4th, and Pocket Rocks in 5th place. 2.5 lengths, and a length were the margins, and the time for the race 1:8.09. It's almost identical time to what they ran in the previous event. 1:8.09 the time. Bonds Your Back, the 4.20 favourite on the VOP, $4.80 and $2 the expected return on Super Tab. So Tom Dabenig's made his way to the
number 5, Bonds Your Back at $4.80, $2. Trav Noonan's on top. He defeats number 3, China Affair at $9.30. Number 13, Prophet's Choice at $3. Quadella $70.10. Exacta $116.40. Trifecta $792.20. First 4, 27,961.30 with a jackpot of 9,600 at the next. Early quaddie 7, 12, 7, 5, 358.10. Double on 7 and 5, $15.70. Trav well found, $4.80 winner on top. Race number 4.
Yeah, thanks, Riley. It was good to get on the end of another winner today. This horse, though, back to heavy ground, the real sort of positive for this horse. He ran on good ground last time at Geelong, and whilst he was competitive, only beaten 2 lengths, I think he's just so much better when he gets that real sting out of the track. Jared Fry presenting him at the right time, and I think that your horses, you want to find them sort of getting away from this inside part of the track, sort of getting towards the middle. That's where the last 2 winners have come now. So Tom Dabenig with a double. Jared Fry had a good season last year. He probably has stopped a little bit of his momentum this season, but back on the board here today at Warrnambool. And yeah, good win by Bonds Your Back. Second horse, China Affairs, ran a huge race for Paul Pruska first up at a long price. That stable in great form at the minute. Another one that ran really well was Salisbury Hill, first up for a long break for Wayne Walters off the back of a strong jump out. One of the favourites there, Rock Diamond, I'd forgive it. Didn't really look like it handled the heavy 10 track, but no, Bonds Your Back certainly did. He's a very good wet tracker on his day, this horse.
Well done, Trav. Well found at $4.80. Trav's on top. He takes out race number 4. Get those quaddie numbers sorted. Travel. Look at the quaddie shortly. Race number 5 kicks it off at Warrnambool at 3 o'clock. Look out, Andrew Bensley's into the studio.
Oh, you beauty. The Sporting Globe in Richmond's where we're going, Riley. I'll be there in about, I'll just have to fend the fans off when I get there. If it's not McGuan, it's Bensley, but they'll be there waiting for the Hossman to turn up, and we'll be on air from 4:30 this afternoon at the Sporting Globe, 288 Bridge Road, thanks to the tab. We've got Archie Thompson. He wants to talk to the big show, so he's dropping by to be a part of Sports Wrap. Jamie Rogers says, hey, if Bensley's there, then that's good enough for me. So she's coming along around 6 o'clock, and our good mate Scott Jamison's going to be joining us as well. So if you're in the area, drop on by the Sporting Globe, 288 Bridge Road in Richmond, thanks to the tab. Of course, the Matildas need to do it tonight. The big question, does Sam Kerr play or not? I wonder if Rob Tester's got a thought about that. Rob, tell us whether Sam Kerr's going to be playing.
100% certain. Can't go without her. We desperately need her, Andrew. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, all. That's my first prediction for the day. And now let's get to something that I know a little bit more about, and that's the Greyhounds at Warrnambool today with cloudy conditions. It's a very windy day, but no sign of any rain for the moment. Track rated good, and the first of 12 goes here at 2:47. There's no late scratchings to report. Our best for the day, look, it's a difficult race, race 4, but I do think Love Me Now's got into a race it can win. Only won 1 from 13 with 3 minor placings. Hasn't got the greatest record here, but its last run was a good one behind Lee Kabang in good time. If she runs up to anything like that, she'll win this race and win it comfortably. So I'll make her the best race 4. Number 2, Love Me Now. Looking at a quaddie, difficult affair as it is most Mondays. Leg 1, it's 2, 3, 8 and 1. Mighty Thanos, Iverson, Eyes Don't Lie, and Where's Leslie? Race 6, it's 2, Speedy Muffin and 7, Vans Turbo. Into 8, 1 and 2, Gunai Redeemer, Lubbock Lad and Slippery Shark. Home with 1, 3, 2, Maddie, Oddsock, Build and Rolls, and Nova Girl. 2, 3, 8, 1, 2 and 7, 8, 1, 2. Into 1, 3 and 2, best race 4, number 2. And we kick the day off with no late scratchings on a good track in windy conditions at 2:47 at the Bull. Best of luck.
Good on you, Rob. Thank you. Good calling at Warrnambool at Traralgon. Race number 1, 7645, 7 early pots at $1.40 and $1.20. Defence number 6, Jessica Gem at $2.50 for forward step at $2.20. Quadella 7.10, Exacta 8.20, Trifecta 26. And the first 4, $96.90. Running late here at Corowa for race number 3.
It could always be our shout with free barista-made coffee for a year on McCafe. Just buy any eligible McCafe coffee on the My Macca's app for your chance to win. There are 25 winners every day. Limited time only. Ends 29th of the 8th, 23. Visit mcdonalds.com.au/coffeecomp for full terms.
Poster boy looks, poster boy pedigree, poster boy performance. Racetrack champion Poster Boy returns to stand at Lower Long Farms in 2023. His yearly more than 5 times his service fee. And they're already thrilling connections with their attitude and gait. So get yourself a Poster Boy. The exciting young sire is booking fast for the forthcoming season. So it's time to call Lower Long Farms, where quality is our priority. See the stallions, news, video links, social links and more at nrequine.com.au.
Get more on tap at your local with the Tab app. Share every race with your mates, live. Plus exclusive in-venue markets and offers. And a bit of this. This too. This. Go, you good thing. And inevitably, this. For exclusive markets and venue mode.
Gray's Rewards in barrier stall number 2. Black Tahitian in 1. And Rumours Abound is drawn out in about, I think it's out in stall 10. Rumours Abound. It's gone up. Black Tahitian stood well with Gray's Reward, Miller Time, Star Rider, and Casimir. They're set at the 1,000 metres. The starter's coming around to his rostrum to send them away. An outstanding Class 1 race. Several chances. About to jump. Black Tahitian the inside. 1,000 metres. They stand in a perfect line. Oh, I think it might be Gray's Reward. Took a dive at the gates, got off the ground a little too. Black Tahitian stood well. Set. He's just bobbing and weaving a bit in 2. Gray's Reward. The field is set. Starter has them. Racing. Black Tahitian bounded away very quickly. Casimir was one of the first to get going. It is showing pretty good speed and going very fast to head them off. Barnsey and coming over rather quickly as Rumours Abound. So onto the course proper they race, and Rumours Abound went to the front from Barnsey. They're followed by Miller Time getting up on the inside. They're back, followed then by Gray's Reward. They're followed by Victoria Falls back behind them coming to the turn. They're followed well back as they swing in by Blount County, and Jadila's out wide across the track here and going very well. Rumours Abound along the inside, bounded away by 2 or 3. Coming out of the pack now, Casimir with a very good run is setting out after it. It's Rumours Abound. Casimir trying to pick it up, but Rumours Abound in front. Rumours Abound just in front. It's hanging on to the lead. Rumours Abound beat Casimir. Black Tahitian followed by Miller Time Grace Reward. Then came Star Rider followed by Wannabe Poodle. At the head of the others, Blount County, and they're followed by Jedilah getting back, followed by More Importance, who's pulled back quickly with Victoria Falls. And stand by for official placings. It was a very impressive win to 6. Rumours Abound for Jason Linus, won it at 5.70 and 2.30. Beats number 2 Casimir 1.60. 1 Black Tahitian at 1.60.
6-2-1. Interim numbers. Race number 3 at Corowa with 4th to be confirmed. We are approaching start time at Traralgon. They're at the boxes for race number 1. Favourite at $1.90. For race number 2. Favourite at $1.90. Number 2 Be Little. One in their honour at $2.40. Before Traralgon, let's head to Rob ahead of the first at Warrnambool.
On the track here and heading out, favourite Show Off Sarah, 280 into 230 ahead of Baruga Dino's been a good go, 460 into 380. Jolly Roger, 420 out to 5. Kevin's Lane, 420 out to 7. Rose of Terrain fairly steady around 9. Ingarandi is 15 into $12. Difficult little race to start the day. Our tip is 8 Jolly Roger to beat 5-1-6, next best number 2. They're on the track heading out race 1 at the Bull.
In and showing pace in the centre was Hopes and Dreams. Hopes and Dreams the leader. Going up to second was Be Little. Then on the inside in her honour. Then for the back was Echo Chamber. On the outside was Liberty Fire. Well back there was Into Slade. Coming up to the corner. Hopes and Dreams the leader. Being challenged by Be Little on the outside. And Be Little the favourite went to the lead. Be Little beats Hopes and Dreams. Third in their honour. Then for the back came Into Slade. On the outside was No Risk. Then for the field was Liberty Fire. Well back Echo Chamber and Into Punch at the tail of the field. And 20 and 19 is the gallop for Be Little. Trained by Gary McMillan, by Bernardo Zipping Tina. Interim numbers here are 2, Be Little, 4, Hopes and Dreams, and then 1 and 6. 2, 4, 1 and 6 are the numbers here. 2, 4, 1, 6, 20, and 18 is the gallop. Favourite wins by Bernardo. We'll have more shortly. Race number 2.
Okay, thank you, Paul. At Warrnambool, they're approaching the boxes for race number 1 at Corowa. 6-2-1-7. Rumours Abound at $5.80, $1.90. Number 2 Casimir at $2. Number 1 Black Tahitian at $1.40. Credella 14.10. Exact at $32.90. Trifecta $109.50. First 4 $331. Double on 5 and 6 $8.70. The totes, race number 3 at Corowa. Race 4 starts the quaddie at 3:15 this afternoon. It is 13 to 3 in about 5 minutes' time. We'll plot a quaddie at Warrnambool with Travis Noonan. Divvies are up at Traralgon. Back to Paul after race 2.
Number 2, Be Little, $2.40, 104. 4 Hopes and Dreams, 180. Number 1 in their honour, 124th was number 6. $6.30 Quinella, 10.30 Exacta. Popular trifecta for the favourites, 14.30. First 4, $79.10. The running double 7 and 2 paid $6.10. Winner by Bernardo Zipping Tina for Gary McMillan at Nambrock, which isn't far away from the track here. Race number 3 on the program. There's the Fennec Curtains and Blinds. I nearly said the French curtains there. 395 metres. Race number 3 probably at 2:59.
Thank you, Paul. 4137, Paul in the next. He's on top selection. Number 4 Cade as one of the shorties of the day. It'll start a short price favourite. Good luck with your bets at Warrnambool this afternoon. Here's Rob for the first.
Race 1 of the Greyhounds, and they're moving in. $2 Show Off Sarah. Good on you, Cass. Thank you. Good afternoon to our Sky audience. $2.80 into $2 Show Off Sarah. 460 into 380 Baruga Dino. 420 out to 5, back to 460 Jolly Roger. Late money Ingarandi. It's 15 to 11. Set to go. Green lights on. Ready, race 1. Racing, Jolly Roger up with the lids at the start. Rose of Terang flew out, grabbed by Show of Sarah, who goes to the front. Jolly Roger got down to the rail to go up underneath. Kevin's Lane going out after the front runner. Baruga Dino, Rose of Terang, and Ingarandi the tail ender. Show of Sarah's going to turn with a big break to Jolly Roger, Kevin's Lane and Baruga Dino. They're all struggling though behind Show of Sarah, who's a mile clear. And Show of Sarah romps away from Jolly Roger to win comfortably. Then Baruga Dino, fourth of photo between Ingarandi and Kevin's Lane, tailing out Rose of Terang. 22.62 the run. 22.62 on race number 1. And Show Off Sarah number 5 the winner. 5 first, Show Off Sarah. Beats number 8, Jolly Roger. 5 beats 8. And the third number in race 1 will go to 2, Barugadino. 5, 8 and 2. 5, 8, 2. And fourth will be close, 8.90 and 13.71. 8.90, 13.71, 22. 6.07 the run. Show Off Sarah wins the first, number 5. Beats 8.21. It's 7 lengths the winning margin by 2 3/4. 7 by 2 3/4. 5.82. 1 runs fourth. 5, 2 and 1. The winner, Show Off Sarah, is a daughter of Orson Allen for Danielle Keane, and it was best backed in the race, $2.80 into $2. And she beats Jolly Roger, Barugadino, Kevin's Lane. 5, 8, 2, 1. 7 by 2 3/4. 8.90, 13.71. 22, 6.07 the run. And the tote's about to come up on race 1 of the day. Race 2, the Macy's Bistro. They're all in, no scratchings, 8 running. It's a maiden 3.90. Race 2 will go at 3.07. On the race just run, it's 5, 8, 2, 1. And the winner, Show Off Sarah, at 180 and 110. Jolly Roger, 270. No third, 2. Fourth, 1. Quinella, 420. Exacta, 460. Trifecta, 1930. First, 4, 5, 8, 2, 1. 26.90. 7 by 2 3/4. 8.90. 13.71. 22, 6.07. All clear to come, and back with race 2 at 3.07.
Thank you, Robert. It is 10 to 3 after a break. We look at the quaddie at Warrnambool this afternoon with Travis Noonan.
More than ever, RSN Saturday Race Day team keeps you in touch.
A terrific day of racing about to get underway.
Every Saturday afternoon, Matt Hill calling.
The field is set.
Brendan Delaney on track. Marie McEwen in the mounting yard, and the late mail from our form analysts and studio host John Henry.
Welcome everyone to a day at the races.
As we head towards spring, join the Saturday Race Day team on RSN Racing and Sport.
There's a word for when 100% Aussie Angus beef meets fresh, crunchy lettuce, onion, and juicy tomato. Classic. The Classic Angus at Macca's. Available after 10:30 a.m.
Elite Racing data will turn your punting around. So get the elite difference and harness the amazing accuracy and value of their selections. Proven over 30 years. Receive 2 weeks free trial at eliteracing.com.au. That's eliteracing.com.au.
RSN 927 conducts competitions almost every day. Every contest is run according to our general competition rules. There are even competitions which have specific terms and conditions. If you would like to read our general competition rules or any special terms and conditions, look for the links on the competitions page at rsn.net.au or ask for a copy during business hours at the RSN 927 reception desk.
RSN Breakfast, now on weekends. Sport and racing wraps and previews from 5:30 a.m. Saturday and Sunday.
Now, an RSN Racing and Sport market update.
Race number 5 starts the quaddie at Warrnambool this afternoon. It is a benchmark 58 over the 1,400 metres. We are 9 minutes away. The 1 Pythagoras at $3. Number 2, Mr. Razzle Dazzle at $6.15. Number 3, Honour the Skills at 16. Number 4, Tango and Cash at $4. 5, Crazy in Love, $7.50. 6, My Little Star That Can at 19. The 7, Enfant Rouge at $9.50. 8, Pistachio is at 11. The 9 is out. 10, Autocracy at 51. 101 for the 11 by Warner. 12, Outrally Rose at 34. Scratch the 13. 14, Moxitation at 151. So, Trav, before we get your quaddie numbers, let's have a look at race number 5. The 1 Pythagoras, $3.80 into $3 today, so well backed, $4.60 into $4. The 4 Tango and Cash.
Yeah, with Tango and Cash on top, we went 4, 7, 1 and 5. Thought Tango and Cash was the best bet of the day. Lindsay Smith trains this galloper who's had 4 runs back this preparation. Went to the mile last time on heavy 8 ground and probably just didn't see out that trip in a fast run race. He started favourite there. Back to 1,400 today. He's got a very good record on wet tracks, and if he runs to his performance 2 starts ago when he was second at Presser, he'll be pretty hard to beat because that horse ran really well last week at Soundown. So clearly on top for me, the 4 Tango and Cash. Thought the danger could be the 7 Enfant Rouge. Maddie Raymond has a great record on our home track, goes about 20% strike rate. This horse ran 4th last start at Donald in a pretty strong benchmark 58 behind Bonjour, who ran well yesterday at Geelong. One Pythagoras goes in for third. Now, he's got a good record here at Warrnambool, has had 4 starts here and 1 during the carnival on heavy 10 ground, so he's going to definitely appreciate the conditions. He was good last start at Donald. He may have to get back here, though, from barrier 10, which is the only slight concern. But he's certainly racing in good form. And 5 Crazy in Love could be the big improver second up for the Mar Eustace stable. 4-7-1-5 is the way we saw the first leg of the quaddie, but in terms of the numbers you need to have, I think you just have 1-4-7. Second leg of the quaddie will take 4, 6 and 10. That's Bare Arms, Guido and Matsuka, who's the top tip. So 4, 6, 10 the second leg. Third leg of the quaddie, I think you only need the 2 numbers, 5 and 1. Handshake the favourite and the Danger 1, A New Day Dawning. So 5 and 1 in the third leg of the quaddie. And coming home in the last leg of the quaddie, race 8, 1, 3, 6 and 7, taking on the favourite 5, Dusty Land Fairy Tale. It's not in the quaddie, we're against it. But that leaves us with 1 Mark of the Man, 3 Always Hunting, 6 Grand Rock, and the 7 in the last, which is one of the better roughies of the day, Navilis Excel, who likes wet ground. So just repeating those quaddie numbers, race 5, or leg 1, 1-4-7, leg 2, 4-6-10, leg 3, 1-5, and in the last 1-3-6-7, 100% of that will be $72.
Good stuff, Trav. Good luck with your quaddies this afternoon, and get your bets on for race number 5. It blasts off in about 5 minutes' time. We get back to Paul at Traralgon in about 4 minutes for race number 3. Favourite there now at $1.18. The 4K, $9.50. Number 3, Dr. Julien. The 2 at single figures. Up and running at Traralgon and Warrnambool dogs this afternoon. Tonight, regular Monday after Monday night fixture. Dogs at Ballarat. Track good weather fine for a 12-race card. Quarter to 7 for the first with Dayton Barry. Reminder, we'll have GRV form analyst Nathan Rudy in the studio from about 6:30. This evening. Warrnambool, 4 minutes away. Jockeys are mounting up. Before we head there, we're back to Paul in about 3 minutes for race 3 at Traralgon.
RSN Racing and Sport invites you to a whole new racing year.
Ready to run. 4 legs, 5 legs in front.
Unbelievable finishes.
Giga Kick moves up, nailed it.
Every moment.
Stapati found 2, 3, 4 lengths.
Every winner. Coming fast, the Spring Racing Carnival.
But it's Goldman going great guns for Geordie Childs. An up-and-coming stayer. Goldman won it brilliantly.
Happy new racing year.
And a Melbourne Cup journey starts here.
Starting Tuesday on RSN Racing and Sport.
It is 4-3. We're about to look at the next at Maryborough. Race number 6 through the eyes of Mick McGuan. Reminder that Andrew start for the Trotters. Favourite is the 8 Miss Francine off the 10 metres at 250. Number 3. Rastamam at 460, 650 for the 9 JB Flex and 7 BB Baroque at 850. They are the 4 at single figures.
Yeah, I'm pretty keen on number 8, Riley, even though it's a Trotters race over the 2190 stand-start conditions. Miss Francine didn't have a lot of luck last week at Maryborough. Was in a very good race, the Trotters Oaks. She's a Wish won the race who he liked, but this horse had no luck at a critical stage of the race, got shuffled back a couple of lengths at about the 400-metre mark, used the sprint lane to finish off the race well. And in the quaddie chat, we spoke about its last half, 57.6, 28.9 last quarter. It got to the line really well to run fourth in that race. And I'm anticipating this. So at Maryborough, her horses generally race particularly well, and I love how the money's come for it. So I think it's a live winning chance as well. Also, number 6, I think it's honest, probably a little bit up in class. It'll run well. It's got good manners. It'll Shield Maiden. It's double-figure odds, and I think it'll run a race at those good odds. The other horse that I have to entertain is number 10, and that's Black and Gold. It's probably the best performed horse in the race. The second row off the 10 metres. Brett Shipway is the driver. I've always had a belief that Brett... his horses are fairly consistent with what they do, but sometimes when he goes off them, others go on him, and they run particularly well. But Brett knows this horse particularly well. It's a very experienced campaigner. It's had a lot of starts. It's certainly got a low percentage win record, high percentage place record, so it's always around the money. If you want to go a little bit wider, horses like number 9 have got good manners. It can ping away and get itself into a prominent position. And off the front line, I think number 1 will run a race at...
Ready, set, racing. Cade, the favourite, came out pretty well, is going to go to the lead. The odds-on favourite going up to second was Dr. Midnight. On the inside, Master Eduardo. Wide on the track was Don't Tell Benji. Well back, Mega Banjo Boy. And at the tail of the field was Dr. Julianne. It's Cade about 3 lengths in front. Dr. Midnight's running a big race in second. Cade, the long odds-on favourites, a few lengths in front. Cade wins it from Dr. Midnight. About 6 away third, Master Eduardo. Then came Mega Banjo Boy. Well back, Dr. Julianne. And Don't Tell Benji at the tail, and the runner's 22.69. Well, not quite as quick as it went last time, where it went 22.11, but number 4 is first, Cade, by Aston Cometto Tansy. The interim numbers here are 4, 7, 5, 1. 4, 7, 5, 1. Hot favourite wins and leads all the way, race number 3.
Thank you, Paul. And Warrnambool are at the gates and about to load for race number 5. First runner goes in. This starts the quaddy. Good luck with yours. 380 into 330. The one Pythagoras. 460 into 420. Number 4 Tango and Cash. It's the on top selection. Trav Dernity's best of the day. So second pick fixed odds and second pick on the tote. Loading at Warrnambool. Race number 5. So the Warrnambool Dogs, it goes, race number 2. In about 6 minutes' time. Next from Maryborough, race 6. It goes in 2 minutes, so it'll come hot on the heels of Warrnambool. Before they get away at Warrnambool in the 5th, here's Rob ahead of the next of the Warrnambool Dogs.
Miss Verdansky's the one they've come for, number 1, $2.25 into $2. They're ahead of Mathura Marvel, 7 into 5. Walking Tour is a big go, number 8, 13 into 5.50. Moonlight Sid, 5 out to 6.50, 5.50 out to 9. Funky Fawn, Hop 2, 9 out to 15, and the rest out the gate. So good money for a few of them here. Our tip is number 6, Moonlight Sid, to beat 8-1-3, next best number 2. Best back, clearly number 1, Miss Verdansky, $2.25 into $2, and good support. 7 and 8 next best in the market. Race 2, due at 3:07.
Thank you, Rob. Here's Warrnambool Gallops, race 5.
So, Mr. Razzle Dazzle's rider, I can see standing in the structure. I'm not sure whether that runner's holding the loading process up a little bit. There's something going on in the stalls. I just can't define it from here, but that's why things.
Okay, back to Warrnambool shortly. Paul has totes out to Traralgon.
And the hot favourite wins for Cade, 120.104.7. Dr. Midnight ran really well today, 220. No third for 5 and fourth was 1. 270 Quinella, 350 Exacta, 1430 Trifecta. First 4, 35.80 double 2 and 4, $1.50.
Thank you, Paul. So one's being vetted here at the start at Warrnambool. We are nearly on start time at Maryborough. Hopefully they hold at Maryborough ahead of race number 6.
The stable had their first start of the last judgment win earlier today. But Mr. Razzle Dazzle's place in the field rests on the determination of the vet here. It's around. Pistachio's moved up into the outside gate, so we're not far off a start here. The S&S O'Keefe Bricklaying Handicap, 1400. Mr. Razzle Dazzle moves back in. They're all set. Ready? Off they go. Pythagoras was out okay. Enfant Rouge, as usual, began fast. Honor the Skills going through. My Little Star That Can is up there prominently, as is Tango and Cash. Then by Wanna. Follow them Pythagoras, who's getting up into about 5th position, but a little bit wide. Our Alley Rose, Pistachio were next in the field, followed by next was Mr. Razzle Dazzle, a couple of lengths to Crazy in Love, Artocracy, and Moxitation is the last one. So with 900 left to go, Enfant Rouge is left in the lead here. Led by a length on Tango and Cash, Pythagoras, My Little Star That Can, Honour the Skills in 5th, by Wanna was next. And then Our Alley Rose, Pistachio, Mr. Razzle Dazzle, Crazy in Love, Artocracy. Last is Moxitation as they go past the 600. So it's Enfant Rouge leading a half length over Tango and Cash as they roll down to the home turn. Pythagoras has been right on their tails, a length away in 3rd. My Little Star That Can is under some pressure with Honour the Skills, Pistachio by Wanna, Crazy in Love, Love, one of the wider runners on the track here, with Mr. Razzle Dazzle and Moxitation as they swing into the home straight. Tango and Cash swept to the lead from Enfant Rouge. Here's Crazy in Love starting to run on pretty strongly, and Moxitation at any old odds is running a bold race too. Crazy in Love hit the lead. Moxitation, the chaser, 100 to go. But getting clear in the last stages is Crazy in Love, pulls clear from the roughy Moxitation, and Crazy in Love wins well. 2.5 lengths to Moxitation. Third's really close between Pythagoras and Tango and Cash, and then a long margin back to the rest. Mr. Razzle Dazzle runs in fifth. Then Pistachio, Artocracy by Wanner. Honour the Skills, Our Alley Rose, Enfant Rouge dropped right out. My Little Star That Can was the last one in. Crazy in Love gives Jared Fry his second winner of the afternoon. Number 5, a previous winner in New Zealand, so at her third Australian start, she's been able to get the money here. Moxitation gave the race a bit of a shake with about 200 to go when he loomed up at 150 to 1. He's run second. Tango and Cash gets third, just in front of Pythagoras. So it's 5, 14, 4 and 1.
As a result, and Warrnambool, race number 5. They're at the boxes. Warrnambool for race number 2. They tried to get away at Maryborough, but a false start first time round. Race number 6, the 8 Miss Francine, 290, fixed 320 on the tote. They are back at the start. Warrnambool will get you those totes when they become available. Not yet. After the running of race number 5, here we go. The 5, Crazy in Love at 9.10, 290, 14, Moxitation at 27.20, 4, Tango and Cash at 190. Quadella 493.80, the Exacta 676.10. Trifecta $6,608.70, first 4 $26,000. 854.90, running double on 5 and 5, returns 51.70. 5.14, 1.4, race number 5 at Warrnambool, thoughts of Trav Noonan shortly. Now, out to Maryborough, at the start, haven't been called to their marks yet. At the boxes, past start time at Warrnambool, and they're not loading there, race 2.
Monday afternoons from 1. Mick McGuan has the day's harness form and opinion.